to another edition of the Idle Threat Wrestling Podcast, a threatening interview where we snap into a Slim Jim and we don't snap out. We're here today with...
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Sorry, snap into a Slim Jim. Snap in with us while we talk to Phil Atlas. Where we go from the beginning to where he's at now in his career in the wrestling business.
Where I'm at now?
Where you at now?
Right now, I'm just chilling, man. I'm just waiting for the next ride to take. Basically, that's all I can really do.
Well, let's start with how the ride began. What got you into wrestling? Were you always into wrestling since you were a little kid, or?
I mean, I only really watched it when I was like, we're talking like 5, 6, 7 years old, maybe even a little older. When I was kind of forced to. Like my uncle would watch it, maybe like a friend would watch it. And I always enjoyed it, but I was never really into it until I reached like maybe 11 or 12, and that's like basically when I was really at an influential age, if you will. And yeah, I ended up stumbling across, WWF, the Attitude Era with Austin and DX, and it was just so cool to like wrestling back then. At that point, it was just so over, you know what I mean? In the mainstream everywhere. It was just
You couldn't avoid wrestling at that
yeah,
time.
and like I really got drawn to it, and I was always athletic when I was growing up, but I was just not good at any sports, and just probably because I didn't care to even try. You know what I mean? My parents would put me in stuff, and I sucked. You know what I mean? But I was always athletic. You know what I mean? I could always keep up with the guys that played all this stuff. When it comes to like just running and whatever else, and just showing. I was always kind of a stunt man. I always jump up. I would always try to get to the top of the playground, the most dangerous spot, and do something stupid. I was just one of those kids.
So when you saw wrestling on TV, though, did you say like, yeah, that's something I want to do?
Yeah, basically,
yeah,
I got drawn into it, and I was just like, I could do this, and I want to do this. I can do this, and I want to do this. This is a good way to display my abilities. You know what I mean? I knew I was like athletically gifted, and I also knew I was talented in performing. I did want to be. I always had a dream of being an actor. Too young, but like, I do not want to really be a famous actor now. I think that whole that's a rabbit hole you don't want to get into.
Yeah,
it's a
true.
dirty business. But I do have aspirations to act still, but I always wanted to get into that type of thing, and I even did plays and stuff in high school.
Who were the wrestlers that you saw that made you think like, yeah, I could do that? Because like as big as like a Hulk Hogan or that kind of thing. So who was the guys that you saw and said like, hey, I could be that guy. I could do what that guy's doing.
Stone Cold, I want to say. Austin is the reason why I got put to another level where I was just like, I'm doing this. I'm absolutely doing this. Like, he was just so cool to me. But when you look at mine and his styles, there's nothing really similar. Maybe my intensity sometimes, I guess. And I do try to make it more reality based. And like, whereas, what I mean by that is like when you see me in there, like if you watch me, I don't break at all. And you can see that I'm so focused on what I'm doing. If you didn't know any better, you'd say, well, that guy's really pissed. Like that's my goal. And I don't try to like once I have that kind of attention from someone, I don't want to break it. You know what I mean? I won't break it. So he was the reason why I want to do it. But I always liked guys, the high flyers. I was really drawn to like the luchadors. Guerrero was like one of my favorites. Benoit was one of my favorites. I like the technical guys too. Bret Hart was my man. Put the letter S in front of Hitman. You got my exact opinion of what I think of Bret Hart. I was torn when that was going on. I was torn, by the way.
I was Bret.
I love Bret, but I loved Austin too. But I also
with Austin though, you said that if you look at one of your matches, one of his matches, not a lot of similar style maybe, but do you think like how he brought kind of reality to the ring? Would you say you do that with your character? It's you in there maybe turned up to the 11th level?
Of course, there's things I do in the ring, and if I did it on the street, I'd be arrested or have my nose broken every day. Can't get away with that in real life, and of course I'm turned up. But like with I don't know, when you were watching Austin, didn't you like? There was no doubt in your mind that he hates Vince McMahon.
And see, I was a Vince McMahon fan. I guess just because I always go with the opposite of what everybody likes, that I was just drawn to Vince, which gave me The Rock.
But did you believe like the the animosity between the two. Even
Yeah.
even the Rock and
And at that time, my age, I thought it was for real. Like these two guys.
You would not know any better. Like remember that promo when he drove the beer truck in? And he cut that promo and he's yelling at the Rock and Vince. Like you look
in Detroit,
right
across the street from us.
That was Detroit. No, that was the Zamboni.
That was the Zamboni.
I was
You're
there
right.
for that.
You're right.
And that same show, Ken Shamrock came out with a bat. And I remember he took out the entire corporate ministry, or just the ministry, I forget. And it was amazing. Anyway, I digress. I lost my train of thought.
We were talking Guerrero was a big influence on.
Yeah, I like the technical guys and like the high flying. And I was really drawn, obviously, I think all of us would get really drawn to the drama of wrestling at first. I think that's, you might, like, if you're watching it, whatever, the actual matches, but I think it's initial, like when you first watch it, it's like, it's the stories, it's the drama, it's the build-up.
Character development.
Yeah.
Emotional investment.
Yes, that's how it draws people, I think. So I think you gotta keep track of that every time you go out there. Don't just think about doing. But again, I'm digressing. I gotta stop digressing.
It's all right.
But yeah, I really looked up to those guys, and Rob Van Dam. You know, when I was that age, I remember I used to on TNT.
TNN.
Yeah, we had like the bunny ears, and like that we'd have to like find it because it was an American station. And I had to find ECW at like a stupid time.
Yeah,
that's what we had to do to watch.
That was hardcore TV on like Fox 38 on free-to-air television, which I had a TV set up in my basement with rabbit ears to catch.
Yeah.
And it was, you didn't even get much wrestling. It was like mostly T-shirts and highlights for the videos, but you hear that Thunder Kiss 65 and be like, what is this? I gotta.
Oh, I just heard of it from like the grapevine, right?
Yeah.
I didn't stumble across it on TV.
It was all word of mouth.
I literally when I heard about it and I wanted to watch it, I had to actually like physically and mentally actually like do things in order for my eyes to see it. Like it wasn't just in my face. Like I did the bunny ears thing, find the station, keep screwing with that shit.
Days before the internet.
You know what I mean?
Like there was internet, but it wasn't. There was no YouTube.
I had to go to school the next day. I'm watching at like 1 a.m. It was crazy.
So in those days, that was when the backyard phase really came to, mainstream. A lot of kids were emulating what they seen on the Monday Night Wars and in ECW. And did you ever partake in the backyard wrestling?
Yes, actually, there was a big like community here in Windsor. Like there was there was a lot of kids doing this apparently, and taking it real serious. Like I remember, I never linked up with these guys. Some of my friend that we were doing that. But anyway, I started doing that. Like I started calling myself Phil Atlas when I was about 12 years old. And my nickname was always Phil because of my last name, my shoot last name. So like, Phil was like grade 1 and on. Phil. And then I don't know, we were just going to start our own wrestling league. And by that, we were like young. It was like maybe 11 maybe. We were in my buddy's basement because after school, his parents wouldn't get home till about 6, 7 o'clock. So we knew if we get off school, we go right to his basement and we started filming the magic. So yeah, we did it in basements and like they're awesome now. They're great. But then we started linking up with these backyarders in Windsor because we were in Tecumseh and there's like a group in like Forest Glade. You know what I mean?
Yep.
This is all for these people. It's just like the next town over basically. And then you got like there was like 4 in Windsor of like different groups of kids that are doing the same thing we're doing, right? And then linking up on it. That's when the internet started coming. ICQ, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Remember ICQ?
Before MSN, before Facebook.
Yeah. Remember you could like, I think you probably still do this, but remember they had like backdrops and like when you got a message it would say something. No, mine was Mine was like Jekyll Brothers cuts from the ICP album. So every time I got a message, I would go fuck. I remember my mom was going, "Would you turn that shit down?"
Oh yeah, now I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you linked up with these guys in Forest Glade.
Yeah, so they would come down to I remember the first time they came down to us, and all of a sudden like we all did, like I don't know who organized this, man. It was probably me, to be honest. I don't remember, but like we started wrestling them and then we started like doing like backyard things like every weekend, and they were filming it and then we're putting it on YouTube and stuff because that's the internet kept coming on, and like it was nuts. I can't believe how many people were doing this at the time. And then I ended up doing like a BC. I used to go to the BCW shows, obviously, in there at Charlotte, and I got heavily involved with them. I started selling tickets, you know, at like a young age. You know what I mean? And I would help as the show was going on. I was there to help. You know, one time Jerry Lynn, he was, you know, selling his merch at the table and doing his meet and greet, and I was the guy collecting the money. You know what I mean? Asking people what they wanted, and yeah, and he actually paid me.
That's cool.
Yeah, and thank you very much, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was just, you know, I was a fan of his. And I remember he greased up my palm a little bit, sliced a little bit off the cheese. He gave me a hug. And I was just like, wow.
That's cool. Not
He didn't have
everybody
to
would do that.
No,
for sure.
no, no.
That's awesome, Jerry.
Yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, it was great, great of him. And then we actually had that, when you remember when
Yeah, you he fought for you, right?
Yeah, it was
That's
cool.
what
Yeah,
happened.
that's when I injured my hand and I couldn't wrestle. It was like literally a week before. So Jerry Lynn wrestled for me, defended the title for me.
And found out that he was originally Canadian at that show, if you remember him giving that speech. He was adopted and his original parents were Canadian, so he was happy to have his retirement tour in Canada.
Son of a bitch. Huh.
I remember that for some reason. That was a great
I
show.
don't remember that.
I'm a huge Jerry Lynn fan.
Yeah, me too. But again,
And when I met him too, he I brought my own thing for him to sign, so he didn't even charge me.
yeah, he was a good guy.
Yeah, really good.
I remember, again, like Jerry Lynn and RBU matches.
Some of the best.
You know what I mean? Like,
Some of the
that's
best.
why I wanted, I think I saw like that, the first one time they wrestled, whatever the pay-per-view was at. What was it? You would know. Remember they first wrestled?
Was it? Oh man, I don't know. It was 98, I want to say. So it was
Something
like a
like that.
guilty as charged, maybe.
Yeah, regardless, I think, yeah, I remember like that was the match that everyone was talking about. And then I had to.
November to Remember, I want to say it was.
Yeah.
I think it was a November to Remember.
And that's
That
when I was
the
like,
big
okay,
one.
I gotta get into this. And then like, those guys have been tearing it up together. They got booked everywhere, doing like just trying to top each other every time.
When
They
when-
recently just did a teenage. I watched like a RVD documentary not too long ago. It was just found on YouTube, and they kind of documented. Part of it was just about Jerry Lynn and the RVD rivalry, and then they had like a match at TNA. It was pretty. The highlights were pretty nuts.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But we'll keep it about Phil Atlas.
Yeah.
Today while we're here, right?
Yeah. Those are my influences, I guess. There you
Okay,
go.
so yeah, so you're doing stuff from Border City.
Yeah, and then yeah.
Wicked stuff.
So then they offered a fantasy camp. I remember they announced that on the mic, and I was like, okay. And I was still kind of iffy if I was going to go with it. Like I knew I wanted to do it, but I was like, when it came time to it, I was like, oh, no. You know, but I did the fantasy camp. My buddy convinced me to do it. Thank God I did. Or maybe curse him for doing it. That does. Anyway,
But that's
I
what
digress.
started your in-ring.
Yes.
career.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it was like $200 or something, and then you go and you get a night, like a whole 3 hours with like I think it was Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor was there. Scott, Dyson Price, local.
I'm not familiar with the name.
I think he's a Michigan guy.
Okay.
Who else? Who cares? But yeah, you had Terry Taylor there, which was cool. You know?
That's a big one. Like that's a big name.
So it was like a group-
Red Rooster.
Yeah, it was a group of 12, and they tried to teach all these like. There was like maybe 2 people, 3 people. Actually, that's where I met Brad freaking Martin.
And you tagged together over in Japan with him, right?
Yep. And I tagged with him here in Ontario, and son of a bitch turned on me.
Well, we'll get to that.
Brad Martin.
So you the fantasy camp and
Yeah, I did that, and then I was still young, so I couldn't, I think, legally join the school yet. But I had to be 18. So I was still like maybe 16, 17. And I went back and taught all my friends, because they taught us they tried to teach us the basics. You know what I mean? Maybe a lockup, you know, how to circle around the ring, stuff like that, you know, easy. Maybe a headlock, maybe then a bump, you know what I mean? Gave us a taste of that. That's pretty much it. How we were at the left, in Mexico.
so the basics of
Basics.
wrestling.
So I went back and taught all my buddies, the basics. And like, I'm not saying like we were all professionals, but within everyone that we were doing it in front of, with the Windsor community backyard wrestling, we looked like professionals. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it wasn't just a YouTube Metallica song hitting each other with cookie trays. You were having matches.
yeah, and we were actually like,
planning stories.
yeah, we were actually like,
creating characters.
yeah, and I was actually trying like I would always try to tell everybody like tell a story. I was like talking about that like when didn't know nothing, and I didn't know nothing. I mean, if I would have been like next to a professional wrestler at the time, they'd be like, shut the hell up, punk. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that now, but like at the time, like when I'm with the pond that I'm swimming in, I mean, you know, I was the shit. But anyway, again, we're just back here wrestling kids. But then like we got hooked up with Campbell Kirk, remember him?
No, it doesn't. I don't remember.
Harold's cousins. Anyway, he was a local guy, he was a little weirdo, but he was alright. But him and like a guy named Harley were like renting out this boxing club on Grove Street. I don't know if you're familiar with that, Dominion or something.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know where you're
Yeah, there was like a blue building with the ring in it and like a little gym. And then he contacted us, and then I think me, because we all met each other at the BCW shows when we go, right? There was a little community. There was the Unrulies, there's just a group of kids that they call themselves, and then there was my group, and we always compete to be the loudest, obnoxious people in the crowd, you know.
I remember that.
Until I stepped away. But anyway, yeah, and they rented this boxing club, and we'd actually like charge for tickets. It'd be like $5 a ticket, and we do it every Sunday. You know what I mean? At like noon, around like noon, doors open, show starts at 1. You know what I mean? And we would like, it gave me an opportunity to actually like try to do, that's how I learned kind of how to connect with the crowd at least. It got me on a stage of some sort, even though it was a joke, but I was still on a stage and able to like
Interact
get
with
comfortable myself. You know what I mean? Somewhat, and have some kind of something to fall on, like when I actually go and do it, so I don't feel like so out of place. And like we were actually creating like one time we got like 70 people in that building.
Not bad.
And like,
I draw more than some indie shows.
dude, like I couldn't like look back on it. It's nuts. So then when I finally joined the school, Reverso probably told this story. I remember like he had the money and I was still kind of off on the price of it. And then I remember I was at the gym and then like we agreed to do it, but I was like still kind of, you know, pussyfooting around it. And then I was working out, getting my swell on, and then he ran to the gym. He's like, "Let's go, class is gonna start." And he had the fucking money in his pocket, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait, man. You go ahead. You have a month head start. He's like, "Fuck that." He's like, "Let's go." And I was like, I don't know, man. And then yeah, we just went. He's like, "Take the money you got, just see what they say." I still had a healthy chunk of it, right? So then I went, and then we just started at the same time, and it was on pink one. But yeah, reversal. He reversed my decision.
Even back then, he was real. We're gonna
You
just
say
go
the
to.
great. I don't know if I should say that. Forget it.
We're just gonna run an ad from our sponsors, and we'll be right back, and we'll talk about training at the Can-Am Gym then.
We are Rosemary, and you are watching the Idle Threat Wrestling Podcast.
All right, so we're back here with Phil Atlas, and he's going to tell us about training at the Can-Am Gym. So what year was it about when you say you started there?
Ooh, 2004. 2002 probably, because my first match was 2004. So yeah, it took about a year. So probably
And what was, like...
2003.
Okay, just play it safe.
Boom.
So what was like your first impression of the Can-Am Gym when you got there?
By that point, I at least met Scott before, so
Right.
and like back then he was like, no bullshit. Like, it was in the cusp of like the old school mentality to the new school. You know what I mean? It was like we're on the fringe. Like you meet some people that are like die hard, like protect the business. You know, kayfabe is really important, and to other ones are just like, nah. So it was a really weird time to come into. I feel because like you had to like read different people. All of a sudden you'd be in a locker room like. Some of that shit's not tolerated, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're all like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "Oh, I didn't, you know?
I could totally see that being an issue at that time.
Oh, dude, like...
Because you got like the end of those guys kind of going away, and then the newer breed
Yeah.
coming in.
Yeah,
right?
but
So-
picture like 20 years before I started, even 10 years before that. Like, think about that. Like, it wasn't an open curtain back then.
No.
The door, like, wasn't open. Like, you had to be, like, it was a...
Bad guys changing one, or
yes.
good guys changing
And I'm talking about,
another.
like, there's no outsider eyes back then. So if you wanted to be a wrestler, like, it was tough. And if they did let you behind those doors, and they trained you, it was kind of like an oxymoron, because they would show you, like, the art of it, but then still, like, rough you up and beat the shit out of you just to prove something. And it was just like, imagine that. You literally have to be like a bitch, take a beating, and just keep coming back for more. And like, I don't mean be a bitch, but I mean like not fight back, but you know, like mind your P's and Q's. It's like, so contradicting.
Yeah,
So contradicting. So
I
like,
feel what you're saying.
like those guys are tough as shit. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't mean to be a bitch in that sense. Like,
Yeah.
those guys wanted it, you know what I mean, and they were willing to do that. You know what I mean? I just couldn't only imagine. It was so different. You know what I mean? But yeah, am I digressing again?
That's all right. It's your show.
Your
My show, but we're here to hear about you. So you get to Can-Am Gym. How, with all that going on, like you're saying, how was Scott as in that? You know, like he's in between that. Here's what you're trying to say.
See, when I joined, Scott was just like, he popped in and out.
Okay.
But my trainer was actually Joey Legend,
Right.
for a while, and that's when Alex Shelley was going to the school at that time, and he was really hungry at that time too. He was young, he was ready to go. TNA was building up, and Scott was a part of that. So he always wanted to be in the school, and like he just really liked training. He took a liking to training with me. Like there was like 4 or 5 students of us, and he liked Brad Martin too. Me and Brad Martin would always go back and forth with him and help him with things, and he would show us things, and he took more attention, paid more attention to us to develop us. You know what I mean? And so I put a lot of my credit in my training, my early training to Alex Shelley. You know what I mean? Because I learned the basics and stuff, and some cool things from Joe Legend, and like learned about etiquette and all that. Like Joe Legend was a man for that. And then Shelley would come up and like he would stay an extra 2 hours, and I would, of course, even if I wanted to go home, I'd stay. You know what I mean? Because I was always taught
you were that eager to learn.
Yeah, be the first one in the ring, last one to leave. Like, and I didn't always follow that stuff. I'm not gonna say that I did, but you know that was what I tried to do. And yeah, me and Alex Shelley would be there till like 11:30 at night. You know what I mean? Trying new things, and he would like, because there's things he wanted to try. You know what I mean? And then he would instead of just let me be the dummy, he would say, okay, your turn, go. You know what I mean? And so I learned a lot from him. A lot of lucha, libre, a lot of like the Japanese psychology, even just like kind of the.
And he was working for TNA already at that point,
No,
or was getting ready for that?
He was like going back and forth from 0-1. I think he was going to
Okay.
Japan. He was just, and he was really hot on the indies. I mean, he was like on a whole nother level at the time.
Yeah, I remember.
And yeah, he obviously wanted to be signed by TNA. He knew Scott was the way to go, and this and that, and being American and having the visa and ready to work. I mean, boom, boom, boom. So he was showing that he's hungry. And yeah, somewhere in between there, he got a contract. You know.
Yep. At that time, did you think that was a possibility for you too, or you were like, I'm young, I gotta go through this first?
No, I was.
Right away, were
I
you
always
driven to get to where you wanted
Oh
to go?
yeah, I never wanted to do this just purely for fun.
Yeah.
You know, I've always said like I want this to be a job. I want this to be my thing. I haven't really looked back yet, whether I should have or not, or whether it pans out or not. You know what I mean? It's just something I love to do, and it's an outlet. I mean, if I didn't do this, who knows what I'd be doing? Make joke with people. We don't want that. I need my woof. Anyway, where were we?
We were just talking. Yeah, we were done with Alex Shelley training you at the gym.
Yeah, so look, that's when the whole group of them started getting signed. They had like Pete Williams got signed, then you had Johnny Devine was showing his face around Canada School. He got signed. Eric Young got signed. Bobby Roode, Sabin got signed. Chris Sabin, and yeah, I mean, I didn't think I was gonna get it then, like at the time, because I knew I was still new. I wasn't. You know what I mean? I didn't have not enough experience. You know what I mean? I would have been a deer in headlights. I probably would have done all right. I would have done well, but I wasn't at my. I couldn't represent myself as best as I can now, or could at some point. Like I'm still new. I'm still a kid. Everything's just like wow. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get taken back by it all too. But anyway, I knew it was like in the cards. You know what I mean? But I didn't expect to get picked up there or anything. There was an issue at one point. I remember I was supposed to do Team Canada. I was going to do. Remember when they did the X Cup, which was cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't do that anymore. Like that's awesome.
That was
great.
Yeah, they had all the
So easy to
teams coming in.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Easy to follow, even if you don't watch wrestling or anything. You're just like, okay, that's the
I'm Canadian. I'm
That's
born
the
in
Japanese
Canada.
guy. That's the Canadian guy. Okay, I get it. Let's go Canada. You know, it's easy. But yeah, so I was supposed to do that. There was a border issue at the time. Something. And I needed to be able to travel to go to Japan back and forth, so I didn't get it.
And this was in this time though, through Can-Am Gym and working with Scott there, you become huge in Border City wrestling and in our area, Windsor, Tecumseh, that area. One of the how long before? Because I kind of faded out for a few years of Border City shows until I got back in around like 2010 or so. When was it you got like your big push in Border City wrestling?
Well, I probably took like 8 months of training, but I was probably ready in like 6, let's say. There was no, they weren't really like doing a lot of shows back then. So then I think they just started like running shows because they had so many students that they needed to get exposure to, right? So they did shows at the Diamondback. No, not the Diamondback. Octane maybe? Close.
Octane, I remember when they
Yeah,
had shows
on
there.
Howard, the
It's
little
like
bar.
it's like a dentist or eye doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the ceiling was super low, it was really, but we'd fill that place up, and to me it felt like, you know, Madison Square Garden. So that's where I debuted. It was March of 2004. And it was me and Brad. Hold on, me and Brad freaking Martin against El Reverso and Chris Klontz. He looked like he was a big
I don't
dude.
remember him.
He looked like Grimace, you know, he just I mean, but yeah,
Did he wear purple?
no. But he doesn't wrestle anymore. I don't know.
Okay.
I think he's doing well, I don't really know. But that's besides the point. But that was the match. And I can't even remember who won. Who cares? But I remember that was great. But I remember we got to the backstage and everyone was just like, what? You know, they pick apart what you do, right? And they're like, at one point, like we threw each other into our corners where someone would like Brad could easily tag me. You know what I mean? And we were just like, oh yeah. Psychology stuff, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
The early days.
Yeah. So then, yeah, this is my first match professionally. And then, yeah, I started there, and then I remember they started pushing me relatively quick. It was like early 25 at the Bret Hart show. Like even before that, they teamed me up with Jimmy Jacobs, who was like, you know, a big indie guy at the time, and you know where he is now. You know, great mind for the business. The thinking man's wrestler. But yeah, they teamed me up with him, and then I was wrestling guys like Danny Daniels, you know, Nate Matson. They put me in the ring with Shelly. Like all great matches. They put me in a lot of great matches.
You had great exposure right away with great.
Not at first. I remember they made me beat Adam, Phil, and Jerry for my first match.
No, just by.
I remember I even mentioned this guy. He just didn't look at me. He's like, and I was just like, oh yeah, I get it. I'm stupid me. So anyway, come on, we did that. And I think I did 2 matches. And then I wrestled. Remember Tim Titan?
No.
Another local. He didn't.
No. Like I said, I fell out for a few years.
Yeah, he hung up the boot. He was just around for a little bit. But I remember like it was Halloween. I came up with a jack-o'-lantern. I was getting candy out and stuff. And we used it for our finish. And we got shit on for that. This guy just fucking beat me out. Did I swear?
Yeah, it's fine.
I just did. I think I've held off
This is a
till
shoot.
then.
This is a shoot.
Held
We're
off till
talking-
then.
We're talking whatever
Well,
you want to say.
shit, fuck. So, so yeah. So then, my worst match ever was the third one. That I personally was like so embarrassed. I was like, I'm filth. This sucks. I literally was like, fuck. It was with Adam Fonte, another local. So bad. Anyway, so that the third show though, I remember Scott wasn't in town, so it was just the you know his helpers, Jeffrey Scott, Jeff Bruv, and
Here on the Out of Threat Wrestling podcast.
He was?
Yeah, he did.
he's a funny guy, man.
Yeah, it was
I'm
a good
sure,
time when he came
I'm
in.
sure it was great. His stories are the best. And the best thing that pops me about that guy is his own little jokes, and as he's telling the stories, pops himself. So like he gets excited and laughs just as much as like anyone else would, and that alone makes me laugh because like you're just like, holy, this is hilarious. Anyway, I'm digressing. So the third match, Scott wasn't in town, so I literally go up and he asks me my weight and stuff, and he's like, "What do you want to be called?" I'm like, "Oh, Scott said I have to be my real name. What do you want to be called?" And he knew what I was called. He knew what I was calling myself. Because like the first match, people were chanting Atlas, because the backyard deal, right? So I said, Phil Atlas. He goes, okay. So then that's when Phil Atlas officially made his in-ring debut. There you go. And Scott was very pissed. We heard about it.
Yeah.
Who the who said he can do that? And I was like, Jeff.
And you said this was your worst match, though. You thought?
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? Just
being
nothing.
Slick, I don't know. I mean, I didn't nearly know how to carry anyone or psychology myself, you know what I mean? Still wasn't the world-class performer I am today. You see, I had to build it up. It's a steady climb. You can't just take the ski hill, you gotta walk up the mountain. Anyway, so yeah, it was just awful. I remember I was so mad at myself, disappointed.
So when
Now I'm depressed.
Wow. You did all right after that, I'm sure. And
In the ring,
yeah. When did you think like things were starting to really look up in your career?
it was an honor to be even, like me and Jimmy Jacobs ended up getting the Bret Hart show. I think that was the 10th anniversary. The big Chicago.
Yeah, yeah, I wasn't at that one, but it was a big
Yeah.
show. I remember it being advertised.
Yeah, it was, we were feuding with Nate Matson and Danny Daniels, and they were the tag team champions. So it was like 3 or 4 matches before we had the title match, and then me and Jacobs went home.
And we had that Nate on the show before too.
Nathaniel Matthewson, he likes to be called. Call him that next time.
Okay.
But yeah, they gave the titles to us, and it was just great. You know what I mean? The titles at the time, I don't know, do you remember the old BCW belts?
Yeah, I do remember the old belts.
The pieces were falling off, and I remember when I came out, I had to hold the one piece so it didn't look like it was falling off. At least for like when I'm coming out, so all the cameras on me, right? You can't have a belt fall on.
Is this what?
Great job, dude.
Was this is just a question for myself, but was Border City still on Channel 11 at that point, or had that gone away? Because I remember a period when it was on Channel 11.
You know what? I don't think it was.
No, it was off.
I think, yeah.
Because during the height when wrestling was so popular.
When I was going, TV was there, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think that was more the Chicharo Club
I don't
days. But
think it was, because I don't think we started filming for that until like 2012 for the 20th anniversary.
right, and I remember when they did bring that back.
Yeah,
too.
I remember that was like
that was on
that was
Channel
a big
11.
deal. The rest
Yeah.
were all like just YouTube videos or like straight to the internet
Yeah, that
or
was
DVDs. You know.
that was the cage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll get to that. So in this time though, you had a couple of WWE trial matches though, right?
Yeah.
I watched them, and you were against Snitsky, I found, and I found was it Vladimir Kozlov? Is that his name? Or
Yep.
Is that a red name?
But yeah, Vladimir Kozlov, and then I also did an ECW match with Funaki.
On ECW, on the WWE ECW, and they brought
Yes,
back-
yeah, of course.
Okay. So what was it like?
Funaki and Jesse. Remember Jesse and Festus?
Yeah, I do.
But he was. I don't know if he was called Jesse still.
Jesse was he Terry Gordy's son?
I believe so.
I think so.
I believe so. And he was. He had that like white boy rapper gimmick for a while.
Yeah, briefly, I do remember that too. That was
I remember I gave
my
him.
dying days of watching WWE, but I do remember that.
I remember I got a tackle in for some reason. They gave me some. No, I don't even think I did actually. I take that back. There was some point where I did something to him, and he was like getting up from selling a little bit, and I grabbed my nuts and I was like, oh, I said something that pissed him off. Yeah, I think he yelled something at me. I take that, and I did something else. And I was like, take that, you haven't ever wanted to. No, I don't know what I said, but I said the word bitch. And then we went on with it. It got a little reaction. But we went on. I'm so pissed at myself. I can't remember exactly what I said. Anyway, yeah, and then we did the whole match. But I remember right before, the ref said something to me. I'm not used to all that freaking, outside interference, that you have to deal with. I had him in a headlock, and like he was literally like going to shove me off, and I completely went blank. Okay, and I remember. Oh jeez. No, I had him in a headlock. Sorry, I'm screwing this all up. I had him in a headlock. He tried to push me to the ropes, but I didn't have what we were doing, what we planned to do. Yet, like in my head, remember, I'm still new. Like I always say, like I love that I got the opportunity to do that, but I was not ready. I was still intimidated big time. And like like literally 2 years later, I'm watching all these guys on TV. You know what I mean? Like literally, I'm in there, and Undertaker's there, Shawn Michaels is watching me, and I was like, oh my god. Anyway,
Way different environment than
way
not
different environment, man. These guys are like gods to me, man, or at least were a year or 2 years ago. And you're still trying to have that mentality, like but it's still like, you respect these guys, and you want their opinion matters. So, where were we? Yeah, anyway, I remember having a headlock. He's pushing me back, and I'm kind of resisting a little bit. He's like, go, go. And I knew I had to go, you know what I mean? But I can't yell at him either, because he's the guy, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like I'm trying to remember, and we hit the ropes. I'm literally like, we're about to lose contact with each other, and I'm about to hit that rope. And I remember like, just as we literally like separated contact, I just remembered I was like so close to literally, God, I would have literally shit the bed. I would have hit that rope and came back like, you know what I'm saying? Like I will never forget that moment because it was just like a heart-stopping moment. Because I was like so confident what we're doing, and all of a sudden for 1 second we're on the go, and I'm like, oh fuck, blank. You know what I mean? Because the ref said something, and then thankfully I got it. No one noticed. I remember going back and said, "Did you notice any hiccup?" And I was like, no. I'm like, okay. So I know I paused for a second, but I got it.
How do you get like a WWE tryout, Sean? Like how does that happen? Like how do you score that? Like they just come around, they're in Detroit, so they're looking for local guys, kind of thing.
I never actually. I did it once in Detroit, but I don't. It's usually Canadian. I did
it in Toronto,
Canada or Toronto, London. They did another town too, Montreal. Yeah, that was about it. There was like a 2-year span where I was doing them a lot.
And is that how it works? So they're just looking for
Well,
indie
no,
guys?
I got hooked up. I mean, Scott knew Brooklyn Brawler.
Right.
Tommy Dreamer was coming to Border City show, so he knew of me too.
Not say we're agents there at the time.
Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, I had those guys on my side. At least, like, you know, because you show up and you have to say your name, and then they have to say, well, who you associate with, who booked you. You know what I mean? And you say something, and they contact him. He's like, yeah, he's cool. He's cool. I'm in. And then I walk by. No. No, but yeah, it was crazy. But that's how it happened. I remember I had to bring, like, remember Akira Raijin?
Yes.
Kiyoshi.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Sushi, Kiyoshi.
Yep. I
Yeah,
remember.
I had to go with him, and I was the driver. You sleep, I'll take care of this. Also Kushida, he was actually in NXT now.
Yeah, he just got. I think he just made his debut.
That guy's so talented.
Yeah, he is. I believe you were in a match with him at Border City, right?
Yeah, I wrestled.
In a four-way? Was it a four-way match that I saw?
No.
'Cause I remember seeing you
No,
fight him, and I'm thinking like, wow, this guy, he was one of the best I've ever seen live, I think.
Yeah,
He was really
I
good.
wrestled him in Toronto one time, and I wrestled him in Japan.
Maybe I swear.
I also did like one of those Essex Fun Fests too with him.
Really?
That was our. That was only like no, then the one in Toronto. I only wrestled him in singles twice. The rest were like multi-man matches.
That's I swear I remember seeing you with him in a multi-man match. But
No,
let's
thinking. You're thinking it was Brent B. Petey.
And
Jimmy
Shelley-
Jacobs.
Okay, maybe that was
That's
it.
what it was.
Okay.
100%.
Well, we'll talk more about Japan when we get back from another break. So sitting here with Phil Atlas still, let's talk about Japan and how that came about. Because you did a lot of work, including that was in for Dragon Gate. We got a lot to talk about at one point. I'm digressing myself now, so let's just
Stop digressing.
let's just let you talk about how the Japan came about. Let's start with that.
I started gaining a little bit of steam. Again, when I'm saying this is all through my perception, so I could have been gaining no steam, but I was going for the hills, right? So I started getting steam and like getting booked elsewhere. Like I was working in Michigan a lot. I was working in Ohio, every now and then. I was going up to Wisconsin, you know what I mean? Getting up to Cleveland All Pro. Ended up in for AAW in Chicago, you know, for Danny Daniels. Getting to work guys like BJ Whitmer, you know what I mean, Jimmy Jacobs, you know, I worked Tyler Black there, Seth Rollins.
Yep.
I worked in there, you know what I mean? It was just like, yeah, it was great. But yeah, I started getting steam right here and then going all the way up to Toronto, meeting all those guys. And then there was a guy by the name of Jay Moore, and he was just a big wrestling nerd, and he was younger. He just seen my stuff, and he just, for some reason, he just liked me in Reverso. So he just came in contact with us, and he had a lot to do with, like, he's the one who brought me in to the Niagara Falls region initially. And then I met Danger Boy Derek Wild, another Ontario legend. And then he took a liking to me. For some reason, he wanted to work me, and we ended up working in Welland. And I remember, like, we killed the I'd done stuff I've never done, and that guy just has a death wish every time he gets in the ring. He's insane. He would tell me he wants to do things, and I'd look at him and be like, how are you going to protect yourself? He's like, oh, I'm like, it's going to murder you. And it did. It did. I mean, he's knocked himself out so many times. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, yeah, I started getting steam there, and then I got work in Buffalo because of Niagara Falls and all that around Buffalo. So I started working that, and you know, I was just getting booked. I was trying to work every weekend, you know, and Scott was seeing this, and yeah, that's when we started. Scott Demore was in talks with All Japan Pro Wrestling. If you know, like, remember that's where Raijin came from. There's a big guy named Brute. There's another Japanese guy that came here. And then those were the first two that the agreement was for them to come over to our school. So they were there for about 3 weeks before I left. They had to commit to a month.
So it's a trading process, what's going on?
Yeah,
So
basically like
guys-
student exchange, kind of, you know what I mean? But like, Scott didn't want to send me. Joe Doring was going. It was set, he's going, right? And you had to pay for one plane ticket the first time. Like, I didn't come up with that money, and I literally came up with it. I'm like, I want to go. He said, you're not ready. You're not ready. He kept telling me I'm not ready. And like, I showed up with money one time. I'm like, fuck you. You know? And he said, you're not ready, fuck off. So like, he was getting mad because I asked so much. And he was just, I dropped it. My time went by, and I just accepted that one. I'm like, well, that's not my time, you know? And then literally, like, he gave me no prep time. It was literally just like, do you really want to go to Japan? I was literally sitting in the corner, and he was sitting on the buckle. I'll never forget. And I was like, over here. So he's like, right there. I'm just, people were in the ring, just rolling around and stuff. And he's like, do you really want to go to Japan? And I looked up, I was like, what was that? I barely heard him. And he's like, do you really want to go to Japan? And I'm like, yes. Because, like, I knew, like, the only answer was yes. If I wanted to do it for a living, I have to get through that, and I have to do it. You know what I mean? I didn't know if I was going to like it or hate it. It's like, I just got to get there, do it. You know what I mean? That was my mentality. And he's like, okay. I'm like, pardon? He goes, okay. And he gave me the date, and I'm like, you fucking with me? And then he told me off or something. He's good at telling people off and making you feel very inadequate. But anyway, he did. And then I was going to Japan. So I came home, like, I'm going to Japan. You know? And it was, yeah, it was awesome. You know what I mean? But, so it was me and Joe Doring. We met in Detroit. You know, I think I got my parents to drive us over there, and boom. Flew out. We went to Chicago first. That was the first time I ever went on a plane. Okay, you gotta remember, I'm like 21, I think. So the first time going on a plane and then seeing that for an international flight, let alone, and like, if you see the size of those planes, like, man, it's scary. Like, I understand the whole, like, you know, the physics of it, but why is that thing gonna be in the air for 13 hours?
Yeah, I don't like flying myself.
Doesn't make sense. You know, and it's just like, it shouldn't. Anyway, and then, yeah, I remember getting on the plane and just like, I remember when we finally flew up, we were just off, and I knew I was gonna be on the plane for 13 hours, and then Japan, I remember just like, nearly getting a panic attack, man. I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, but then we land, oh man, it was scary. It was scary, man, because I didn't think it was gonna happen, the homesick, culture shock. I was like, nah, you can handle it. And then as soon as I was like up in the air, I was like, oh shit.
It's like completely opposite of like being here, or?
Well, just the thought of like landing there, and then I know I'm gonna be there for like 3 months. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh no.
What was like the when you start, as soon as you got there, was it like first night you there, wrestle?
No,
There, did they train you anywhere?
Yeah, we weren't guaranteed anything. We were just literally
sent there.
It was you're living at the dojo. You're training at the dojo.
But it was a whole like you're gonna learn a new style almost kind of thing, right? When you're in this dojo.
Oh yeah, you're in their dojo, so that means you're gonna obey the.
So even if you weren't gonna get any matches, you want to go over there just to learn.
I was convinced I would get matches.
Yeah.
I knew because Alex Shelley was pretty decently close with Kaz Hayashi, was my understanding, and he just put a word in for me to take care of him or something. And Kaz Hayashi did that. Like he literally, and he took a liking to me, and he was like really cool with me, really nice to me. You know what I mean? And he didn't have to be. I mean, their culture too, and the way they do it, they're very strong on you. You know what I mean?
And you speak no Japanese?
Oh, at the time, no.
So you just picked up what you know. What you just pick up there?
Hajimemashite, watashi wa yaru desu onegaishimasu. Right. There you go.
I don't know what you said, but
I know what I said. So, yeah, the first time it was like, okay, and then we met a guy named Jun Bamba. He's the ref. He worked for All Japan. He spoke English. Okay, but you get off the plane and you're walking the terminal and you're seeing all these words and lights and these sounds and these cartoons everywhere. It's just like, what the hell? It's scary.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I didn't think I'd be freaking out, but literally it was like inside I'm freaking out. You know what I mean? And with Joe Doring, just like he handled it really well. I don't know how he's feeling, but
when you have a match there though, and not knowing the language and everything, like, is that a big barrier? Like, how does a match work? Where
well, I already have
been. There's matches where I assume you're with a guy who doesn't speak English. And
even before I went to Japan, I wrestled with international guys. Like I wrestled I wrestled Raijin when he was here. In the ring, Brew.
What's that like? How do you call a match like that?
Well, wrestling's international, I feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I say headlock, they understand that.
Okay.
If I say, they understand basic.
Right.
They get taught English like we get taught French.
So it's not a big barrier there. You can just kind of get.
It is a little bit. I mean,
it's different, right?
But like I'm not gonna. I will make sure I know what he's saying before I just move on. You know what I mean? I take the time. And it's funny because like even like a month ago I was wrestling a guy from China and he doesn't understand. He understands English. You know, he can speak it, but when we talk so fast, you know, as casually as we talk sometimes, he's lost. You know what I mean? When he looks at everybody, it was a multi-man match. He's like, "Please, you say you're the only one I can understand." Is basically what he said. Like, you talk, I can understand because I know how to talk to foreign people. You know what I mean? My grandmother's Italian, so like I got to talk like that to her. You know what I mean? For like it's just like another way of speaking English. If they don't understand, you know, I don't know. If they don't understand a word I say, I'll say that word another way to say it. Like I'll just find keep going down the line as much as possible. Maybe even use my hand until they oh yes. You know, it's fine, and they understand the wrestling holds and stuff for the most part. And again, like I'll be working new kids, and they'll say some kind of crazy move. You know what I mean? With this crazy name,
right?
Is it a spaceship? What are we talking about? You know what I mean? I'll be like, what is that? And I'll explain it to them. You know what I mean? If I stole it, I'm like, okay, grab me, show me. You know what I mean? So I know I'm not gonna go out there and think I'm going this way when I'm really going that way, and brains on the floor.
That makes sense. You know? So what were some of the highlights for you being in Japan? Like, what were some of the?
It was hard when we first got there because it was like a week there with nothing to do, and the dojo was like nice and fully equipped, and they're feeding you. There's really nothing to do, and the dojo didn't have. This was 2007 when I first went, so the dojo didn't even have internet for some reason, and like we didn't have internet, and like I think back and like even when I was there with internet, and it was still like kind of tough. I can't believe I got through 3 months with no contact, no internet, nothing. Talking to nobody but Joe Doring. That's tough. But
That had to lead to like give us a story of something that you and Joe Doring did there that like stands out.
we experienced the whole culture and everything of it.
Do you have like one really good story about you and Joe Doring over there? Give us.
The first year, I had a lot with him, right? Because like every time I went back after that, Joe was there for the most part. You know, for all of it.
Yeah,
But we had
How old was he over there? Because he's a Stan Hansen looking type guy, right? And they love that in Japan.
Yeah,
So
that's the thing.
Instantly when they saw him, were they like, oh, this guy is, we like this guy.
Yeah, well, like when they sent me and Joe over, we're like completely different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like I'm the little guy, the high flyer, and he's the big monster guy, right? And he's got the blonde hair, blue eyes, you know what I mean? And yeah, he got a lot of opportunities real quick. But like when we first started training, it was like the first tour. Like we literally trained for about 2 weeks, and then like after the third week, they had a tour, and we were on the tour, right? Not promised to wrestling, but we were on the road,
Yeah.
you know, carrying bags, you know. Listen, man, it was I've never been to military school, but I assume it's kind of similar. Like you wake up at this time, you know what I mean? You wake up, you clean the dojo for an hour. Bang! Clean it spick and span. And you walk out, you eat what you can, have like literally probably a half hour yourself, including the eating. You know what I mean? And then you're in the dojo, ready to go. Before the trainer gets there. And he could be right on time or he'll be a little late. Tough shit, you're there. And if you're not there, you'll find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Very, very intense training. Right?
Yeah, and just discipline. Discipline.
Yeah.
You know
It seems like it would, like, I'm not a wrestler, but it just, knowing how Japan is, it
Yeah.
seems like that's how it would be like.
And the first time, like I remember that I had to clean the toilets, and I never had to do that. Like I literally was like, oh my god, every morning. You know what I mean? And I couldn't sleep when I was there the first time. You know what I mean? Because my clock's all off, and I'm just probably mentally just drained or whatever. You know, and then like I barely any sleep, and then the alarm would go off. I remember the alarm go off, and I just like cringe. I remember like, before my alarm went off, there was like an alarm in the streets that wakes everybody up too. Like literally just plays this little jingle.
Really?
Every day I would literally cry to myself, ready to fucking kill someone. You know? But then as soon as I walk out the door, you know, I couldn't be like that. You know what I mean? Because I'm in their country, I'm at their whim. You know what I mean? They're being nice to me. You know, it's just like, okay, this is what they're all doing. I can't be a dick. You know, and it's tough for a North American little brat. You know what I mean? It's fun. You know what I mean? But I knew I was smart enough to like, you know, I know right from wrong, you know. But yeah, that was tough. And then the training was like an hour of like, you know, stretching and calisthenics. You know, like push-ups, sit-ups, squats. And when I say that, it's like a stupid, ignorant amount. You know what I mean? It was like middle of summer. They put up all the windows, so it's like a sauna. Like there was times where I'd be sitting on the mat, like I think I could die right now. I could die. You know what I mean? Like legit. Like I'm literally getting dizzy at this point. I'm like, you know what I mean? And like you can't take a knee or anything too, because then you know you look weak. So you know just
keep going.
Remember this guy from Israel? And he was like keeling over, and I was like, hit him before the trainer would turn around. Like, you get your fucking shit on. You're gonna get shit on. You gonna listen to me? Big shit in his face. So anyway, yeah, it was tough, man. It would be an hour calisthenics and stretching, then there would be like an hour professional wrestling training. You know what I mean? Like drills and different types of things like that. You know what I mean? And then it'd be like the last hour would be like shoot fight, but like not like strikes. It'd be literally on our knees and wrestle around and to tap out. And I wasn't like I wrestled in high school, but I wasn't familiar with that at the time. That's not what I was in training to do for years. Mm-hmm. So fuck. And that's at the end of practice when you're already like, and if you like just kind of gave in and just like, you know, they called you out on it, so it was just like, oh my god, you know what I mean? And I always get my ass kicked. These kids do it every time for like 3 years in a row, and I'm just like, they wouldn't even fucking show me no mercy, and I was like, man, you bastards. But I remember I tapped out one guy because I had enough. I remember something hurt. I think I had a hurt shoulder or something. I can't remember, but I remember I said that, and they're like, oh, you take it easy, no problem. And I went out there and I was like, you hurt me somehow? Not like did anything, but just like I was hurt. You know what I mean? So it hurt me, and I remember I just fucking, everything I fucking had, I just fucking put them in like a guillotine, and I was trying to take the head off. And he tapped. And I was just like, hit the mat, boom! And then my trainer guy looked at me and goes, good. I remember, you can see the, you know what I mean? I remember me and Joe were actually getting, this is a good story for the first time. I don't know if it's a pleasant one. Me and Joe, you know, when you spend that every day, waking day with this person, like you're gonna get irritated at some point with each other. Me and Joe were having it, right? And we just came back from the beach like 2 days later, so he was burnt to a crisp. He's got that white skin, you know, no European blood. So I mean, I was burnt too, though. Like we were both badly burnt. He was, you know, he should have been hospitalized. So anyway, we do a spot during training. We should have been we're doing a drill. I put him in a headlock. I literally like boom. I do it the way I normally did. Like I kind of slap. And he put me in a headlock. Sorry. So as he put me in, I slapped him. And he went, oh! And he cranked my neck and it cracked. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, don't touch my fucking shoulders. And he said something. And then I grabbed his chin and put it back, and we were going to the spot. And dude, we went so hard, like it looked like we were killing each other. Because I came up off after I hit the rope, I stepped him with whatever I was supposed to give him the drill. You know what I mean? And he got right up and drilled me, and then I got right up, and we had so much intensity. You know, Japanese style. You know, is what they want, fighting spirit. And then I remember again, kind of sitting in the corner, and all the other trainers were just like just shocked by. They're just like, whoa, that was another level of fucking intensity, you know what I mean? Violence. And Kaz was like, good. You know what I mean?
They got what they wanted out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, we and Joe just fucking sat on the side of the ring like this. Just like ready to kill each other. We talked about wrestling. We had to, I mean, we had another month and a half to go.
Okay, we're gonna take another break and we'll be back with more Phil Atlas.
It's basically on instinct right now, but he's fighting. Oh!
These men are just going back and forth.
Oh! Again, vicious boots.
Yeah, there's nothing fancy there. That's just pure nastiness.
Derek in firm control, but I don't know if he's taking too much time here.
I gotta tell you, I'm impressed with everything he's shown us in the ring, whether he wins or loses this match.
Oh, he's been nothing but impressive. But he's taking a little too much time right now. And with a competitor like Phil Atlas in the ring, you gotta be all over him.
That's exactly it. You can't be showboating. What's he going for here? Pops him up top.
Atlas, he looks out of it up there.
I don't think he knows where he is.
Hard shot.
Oh, he's going for his package stunner.
Oh, gripping that top rope. Atlas is fighting. It looks like he studied the tape as well.
Yeah, he did his homework.
Uh-oh. Reversal. Oh! That net was a vicious elbow. Oh! Wow!
That was the pop-up kick. What a move.
Derek's got him up again. Oh! Atlas out again. Small package. Oh! Is that it? Yes!
That is it.
I don't know.
What a match.
What a match. Let's go to Precinct Andreas for our official decision. What a match. What a way to start off March Meltdown.
Yeah, that was all heart, that win by Phil Atlas. These guys gave it their all. And you know what? Tarek shouldn't hang his head at all. He had a wonderful match. I think his one key mistake was showboating to the crowd.
I agree. It took a little too much time. Just stuck on the Canadian Destroyer. But Phil Atlas, your winner. Tarek, do not be discouraged with that outing. Put on one hell of a match. What a way to start off Meltdown.
Both these men have bright futures here in Crossfire Wrestling.
What's this? Dallas, setting the hand of sportsmanship.
Show of respect. He knows he took him to the limit.
It was one hell of a fight. Showing a sign of sportsmanship here.
Absolutely. Both these men have something to be proud of.
Yes. And we'll be back with more March Meltdown.
There's Dr. Steve here at Crossfire Wrestling, and I'm here with Phil Atlas. You just finished another awesome match here at Crossfire. I mean, the newest sensation, you're cleaning house here, you haven't really lost the match, singles match.
That match, me and Tarek, was probably the most brutal match I've had in Crossfire. Probably not just Crossfire, just all my matches in general. Tarek and Bringen, I mean, I've always been a fan of his, and we've been facing each other more and more, and each time, I leave with a headache. I don't know where I am, but I got that victory, and I feel like I lost, but the scoreboard says I won, right? So I guess that's all that matters. So yeah, that's all I really got to say, man. I gotta ice my injuries here. I feel like I should have sworn.
Alright, back here, still Phil Atlas. Thanks again for being here. It's been awesome listening to these tales from all over the world.
Misguided escapades.
Yeah, perfect name for it. So, 3 months in Japan though, you spend over there, and then you come back. Where's your career go when you come back?
Oh.
Are you more, was this like the new and improved Phil Atlas too? Did you learn a lot over there? Like, just tell us everything. Digress.
I definitely learned a lot out there, but the first tour rolled around, and we were told right before we were leaving for the road, we have tour buses and stuff, is that we're going to be put on the shows. They said that it'll be, we're doing the first night, and we're basically going to switch back and forth. So it'd be like, Joe wrestles, Phil wrestles, Joe wrestles, Phil wrestles, Joe wrestles, Phil wrestles. That's how it's going to be for the tour. It was like a 2.5 week tour with 13 dates, so sweet, right? So yeah, and then Kaz always booked me with him, and I worked really well with him. You know what I mean? So yeah, I got that, and I guess I impressed them because then they put me and Joe on every show there for every tour. So I mean, obviously we're like this and had confidence enough to at least put us in there. So yeah, that happened, and then I remember Chris Sabin was coming down in 2007 for the junior single league, and they wanted me to be like, I was billed from TNA. In All Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't know if Scott used it as a selling point, but like they would all the guys would ask me about TNA, and I'd be like, I'd give them an answer. And I mean, I remember like when I first got there, I was like looking through the program and stuff, and every single time it said my name, the TNA logo would be there, and I'd be like, whatever, you know what I mean? And then people were asking me stuff, and it was like, anyway.
So you just made it up, whatever.
Yeah, whatever, I'm gonna roll with it. If it works for me.
Yeah, why not?
And then, yeah, I remember then I tagged him Sabin a lot, and then during his matches I'd be seconding. I'd be out there like not his manager, but like always out there, like part of his entourage, I guess. You know what I mean? If you watch Japanese wrestling, it's usually the young boys that come up.
Yeah.
Well, I was like Sabin's a young boy, they acted like me and him were like, TNA, I'm a trainer. So, yeah, that was a rub. And then, yeah, and there was points in that time though where I wanted to go home, like I had it. You know what I mean? You could try to go somewhere and ask, you know what I mean? And like they wouldn't understand you, and you just be like, oh my god. You can't yell at them. I mean, I would get frustrated. I'd try not to show it to anyone, but I mean, I'd be like, oh my god, I just want a drink. Where's the convenience store? Just drive me nuts. You know what I mean? And sometimes you go to like little towns where like there's nothing, and like. You know what I mean? But like they always gave us like there's a lot of like the term young boy in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they would have Oba was his name. He was the man. He would he was like the guy. He was like basically like the one who had to take care of us. We had questions. We'd ask Oba, but like you know what I mean. He would always take care of us if we're gonna be late. You know what I mean? Getting to the bus, Oba would be Phil. No. I'd open the door, sometimes he had to run in and help me fucking pack. That only happened a few times, but he was a man, he was a trooper. And he wouldn't say shit. I'd be like, please don't tell. Quiet? He'd be like, yeah, secret, don't tell. I love you, Oba. You really saved my ass, Oba. But yeah, and then I came back. You know what I mean? And I got a lot of slack for like wanting to come home the first time, but like, I feel like the fact that I didn't, you know what I mean? I just bitched about it a little bit and entertained it a little bit. But I didn't. I fought it through and I did it, and I was really proud. I was actually upset because the last show I did before I came home, we were at Suma Arena, and I was like, that's like a Madison Square Garden edit. Just being involved in that big of an audience, and just like, it all kind of sank in. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I should be trying to stay here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, then I was like, I came home and I was just like, I wonder if I'm gonna go back. They said, yeah, you come back. I said, oh yeah, what do you think? No. So I was like, that could be nice, who knows? You know what I mean? But they paid me and I went off and I went home and it covered my plane ticket out there and more, you know what I mean? Like I was happy with what I got, and I remember my family couldn't believe it. They're like, you got me what? You know what I mean? Hell yeah, bitch. I told you this shit would pay off one day. I mean, ups and downs. But yeah, so then like I remember Kaz hit me up, and then this year they wanted to put me in the junior single league. Sweet. Yeah, that's what Sabin was in 2007. So 2008, I was part of the junior single league, and that's where I met Silver King. You know,
he passed away.
Just passed away. Yeah, I was pretty upset about that actually. That really affected me. But he was a great guy. You know what I mean? Like well, a lot, like that year, I realized like when the Mexican guys come in for like tournaments or other wrestlers, like those are my dudes. Those are the guys that like I can talk with, I tell jokes, I laugh. You know what I mean? I got along with them. You know what I mean? So I hung out with them a lot.
Got you fit in.
El Pantera was
Right,
there
I
too.
remember.
I remember like every time they were in the ring practice and shit, like Silver King always, so would El Pantera, and I always go in there and I learn extra stuff. You know what I mean? Because like Kaz must have told him like, you know some lucha, you know I've been showing him stuff and I did stuff with Shelly, right?
Yeah.
So then like they're like, you go with the legends here, you know what I mean? So I got it was cool. Whenever they were in the ring, I got in there and I even got to wrestle Silver King. That's on DVD somewhere. But yeah, he was great. Awesome guy, you know what I mean? Then we ended up like eating together a lot and hanging out a lot together, and then sponsors would come and take us out, because Caesar was like, you know, pretty popular in Japan. You know, he's already been established, so he would always say like, "We lobby to 20 minutes, we go out, eat." I'm like, "Fuck yeah," you know what I mean? Hell yeah. So yeah, it just sucks. I was upset about that, because like they say he had a heart attack, right? Like he was showing signs of like being fucked up for a while, and no one did a damn thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to.
He was still wrestling right to the.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I'm not trying to throw it. I'm just saying, like, it's hard to say when that happens. But like, I felt there was a lot of time where like someone could have just literally went like, call a fucking ambulance. Something's wrong with him. This guy doesn't just kill over like that, you know. And yeah, I just felt there was a lot of time where like they did nothing. He was just laying on the back doing nothing. If someone would have called someone, who knows? That's why I actually gave some young guys shit in Toronto, because I hurt my shoulder. And it was like the show was done. It was at a big convention, so people were just walking by. So like after the match, you know, I put the kid over, and it was one of those Trouble in Paradise kicks. And this kid's a big kid, and he just drilled me as hard, like right here. My shoulder's messed. So I dropped, and I knew I was kind of hurt. And they came up and pinned me. You know what I mean? I took the fall, and they rolled out of the ring, did the celebration. Ref never came up to me, asked me if I was okay. You know what I mean? And then they just walked off, the music went, and people just like, the show's over, and walked away. And I was just laying there. I was like, I was milking it. I was just kind of laying there, the show's done. I wrestled 3 times that day. I was just like, you know, I wrestled a lot of like students, you know what I mean? So it's just like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. So I'm laying there like that, just holding my shoulder, you know, and I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I just thought I was like, I have a bruised shoulder, right? So literally 10 minutes go by, and I haven't moved. I just laid on the mat. Not because I'm hurt, but just because I'm just laying there and taking it all in, and I'm just chilling. And then I started like, after like a few minutes, I was like, I'm gonna see if anyone checks on me. You know, I could be dead. So then freaking all of a sudden, like maybe 10, 11 minutes later, like one of the girl trainees that are doing the ring crew go up, like, are you okay? No, I sat up like Taker, like this, and I'm like, no one checked on me for 10 minutes. I could literally be dead in this ring. Like, that's not right, you know what I mean? Like, that's the ref should at least went like, you good? And I could have given the okay, you know, anything. So I just kind of smartened him up on that. But then I came up, and I started, like, as I'm talking to him and giving him the gears, you know? Really, you know, really tearing into him. I started stretching, checking my mobility, and I reached back and pop! I just went, oh! And I started saying I was hurt, and everyone thought I was joking, because I was just fine 2 seconds ago, right? And then, yeah, I started freaking out. Like, get the paramedics. We were at a big, like, event. It was at Toronto Pro Show, the bodybuilding thing. It's huge, yeah. So the paramedics, I'm thinking, I'm gonna get the paramedics, I'm done. Because literally, after I felt that pop, and I actually crawled to the back, fucking my shoulder was like 3 times the size. I still messed up. Son of a bitch. Anyway. So, where are we on this legacy here?
We were still talking about Japan.
Yeah, so then I got in the
then
single,
Silver King.
2008,
Have a
yeah.
match with
You
him.
know, the tournament, have a match with him, have a match with Kaz. I remember Kaz, I actually was the only one I won against on and one of like the younger guys. But Kaz put me over. Yeah. I remember even the ref. What's his name? Anyway. Don't come to me. The ref comes up to me, he's like, you beat Kazahashi? I go, that's right. What? That's right. I didn't say, I said, yes. You know what I mean? I'm very respectful. Just trying to be funny. So then I said, yeah. He goes, he Japanese mentioned. I'm like, oh, I know, sir. Yes. He's like, crazy. And he walked away from me. I was like, I don't know if he's complimenting me or just disgusted. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, it was a fun tournament, and I was there for another 4 months that time. That's where I remember the Heartthrobs in WB.
Yes.
I met Antonio Thomas there, so thankfully I had another guy there, another someone I could speak English with, and confide in each other, and be like, oh my god, dude, dude, just whatever, and shoot the shit with, and then yeah, that was a pretty good tour, and I remember Scott coming down for that, and I teamed with Scott, Kirk, and Hall for one of those matches, me and Scott tomorrow, and then I don't know. I'm not gonna spill the beans. Scott was extremely hungover from the night before. He's a trooper for getting through that one. anyway. Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of experiences, you know what I mean? I met more people. Yeah, and then they brought me back again in 2009 for the Junior Tag League. Did the Junior Tag League, I teamed with Petey Williams, and we were Team Canada. And again, that's another rub, you know what I mean? So that's when I switched to tights. I used to wear like the baggy pants. I'm not wear tights. For the political correct. Anyway, that's how we were back then. So yeah, I remember I was just like I wouldn't wear tights, and then finally like when I got booked for that, I was like, yeah, I can't. It's time. I'm gonna look professional. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be a kid pretending to be a pro wrestler or a kid like wannabe wrestler. I'm gonna be a pro wrestler. So like I got the tights, I got on the back. This is the fresh established in 04, right on my back and my ass there, and I had I found a design with like a maple leaf and dragons. I was like, Japan, Canada, that's cool, man. Yeah. So I put that on the sides, you know what I mean? I always had the maple leaf right here to represent Canada, obviously, and I'm a big fan of the crotch piece, the Chris Benoit crotch piece, man. You know what I'm talking about? Those tights, think of those tights. He always had that whenever like the colors were here, he had like there was a crotch piece that came around like right in the middle of here.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've tights ever since and had crotch pieces. And it's a fact. I don't know if it's a useful one, but yeah, I'm into the crotch piece. Go ahead and tell your friends. Anyway, so yeah, so then I got 2 pairs of tights. I got blue ones. Blue ones, straight blue and white ones that El Pantera made. Dude, like they were $35 for $35 for the tights and kick pads. And I got my first ones done over here, and like, I forget who did them. Who cares? I don't remember. I'm not gonna remember either. But yeah, they were like 400 American.
Wow. It's a lot.
I didn't even different. It was just the tights. I didn't even have kick pads. I bought used ones from Shelly actually. Alex Shelley hooked me up with a lot of stuff. I needed boots. Alex Shelley gave me the boots. I love his boots. And just slip-ons. Boom. They look really sweet. They're flat in the middle and just they have Velcro. You tighten it. Boom. Tighten it. Boom. Velcro. 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 My music could be playing instead of me running around with fluster. I'd be like, hold on. Ready to go. Although I would be running around with fluster if that happened. That's like, dude, I think every wrestler has had that nightmare. Because I've heard people say this, and like, of just like, their music playing, people screaming for them to get on, in Gorilla, and you're not ready whatsoever. It's a nightmare. The anxiety you couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Anyways, but like, yeah, most wrestlers don't end up doing that, but they always, in the back, subconsciously, just sits in the back of your brain.
You're like X-Pac who shit in Sable's bag and then made it back to Gorilla for his entrance like that. It's a true story.
He shit in Sable's bag?
Yeah, or he dumped a turd in her bag.
That's sweet.
Nah. I thought that was a pretty funny story when I saw that one.
The Clowns, ICP, they actually, like, in their book, they talked about just bailing. They were literally out there as they were supposed to make a run-in for something. That was when there were the Oddities and Thrasher.
Okay, when they were in
yeah, I always found this an interesting story, because like literally like they're talking about it, and like they wanted Luna to beat them both up. Okay, well, we're going to get a couple licks in. They're like, no. Go in there and she's going to kick the shit out of you. And everyone was stiffing them and shit, and they're just like, You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got a bad deal when they were in the WWE.
Well, they were supposed to play their commercial. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I read this.
they just
I read the
fucking
autobiography.
every-
They were supposed to play the commercial. They never aired the commercial. And then that was, I guess, that was the close point where they found out they were just getting their ass beat by this chick. They called. They said, "Did they air the commercial?" They went, "Nope." They went. Literally, their music was playing, I guess, and there was like literally a side door that like you should open the curtain. There's a side door to get out. Their manager goes like, "Get out! Jump out the side door! I'm here." And they went, "Are you serious?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes. He looks at them, like the guys that he's supposed to, like right before they were supposed to come out after him, like right after they came out, and they just left. He booked it out. Literally, the car was waiting for him. They drove the fuck off. Isn't that great? I think it's sweet. We're digressing again.
That's okay. So where are we?
We started talking about Xbox shit and bags.
Yeah, I was just saying. I thought that was an interesting
There
story.
wasn't. It's funny. It's funny.
Okay. So that was your second tour in Japan. That we just covered, right? Or was it the
Third, one third. Singly, me as a greenhorn, and me as a greenhorn, but giving a little bit of playful pat on the ass, a little bit, if you want to call it that, if you will. I won't. So the single league, right? And then it was me and Petey. So like Silver King getting all down.
Yeah.
Luchadors.
Now you've got your tights, man. You're looking professional.
Oh,
and
I
you're
worked like $1 million too, man. I remember I was training so hard. I was like, I was taking like cutting supplements, and I was just like, I was like, this is I'm gonna, my year. You know what I mean? And I went there.
And what year are we in now?
2009 was it?
2009.
So I came back to Japan 2009, and like everyone was like, you, good shape, you, big change. And I'm like, oh yeah, thank you. You know, thank you. Yeah, but we're good. And yeah. So I was like, I'm teaming with Petey. I'm like, I kind of want to look up to par. I wasn't up to par with Petey. I mean, he was on a whole other level, especially at the time. But I mean, I was like, I just don't want to look like next to Petey. If I'm not in shape, I'm going to look even more not in shape. You know what I mean? So like, I got to be honestly the best I could possibly look to even look. Because Petey's going to make you look worse, especially like how cut he was and just like the whole. That was super over in Japan. Remember that?
Legally muscle.
Yes.
There, right?
Yeah.
So when do you start, like when you come back to Border City in Windsor, you get...
Well, in between that, I kept coming back. So like in 2007, I remember I came home. I went to do like an ECW kind of reunion show or a theme show, and then the Dudley Boys. Had something called.
Oh yeah, I remember that show. I wasn't
And then,
Jerry Lynn and Lil Guido.
Yes.
That one.
Yeah.
Night of Extreme. I was
Nunzio.
on-
And
I call him Lil Guido. so-
yeah, I got a match
Lil Guido
with
for me.
Nunzio. I
Awesome.
remember Scott.
I'm a big Lil Guido fan.
Yeah, I remember I talked to him on the phone, and when I was at the dojo, and he's like, "Well, we have a show this date. He's like, I want to give you a high-profile match. They were gonna put me in some other match. He's like, I'm gonna give you a big match. He's like, you get Guido." So I was like, "Fuck yeah, sweet." Again, that's another rub to like build up my aura. You know, so I'm saying like when I say aura, I mean like people's perception of like of the like what I can provide. You know, you put me in a big higher profile match and I succeed and I get you. You know what I mean? And then it's just like more excited for next time. You know? And it shows how you could. It's little steps. You know what I mean? Is this guy marketable or worth anything? You know,
Yeah.
that's how it is. So yeah, and every time I kept getting those opportunities, you know, for the most part, I hit it out of the park, you know.
Yeah, you were showcased in Border City with a lot of big names during your run there.
Yeah.
Right?
And then 2010, after the tour, so we're in 2009 with the Petey Williams. Now in 2010, I didn't get asked back at all. But at the end of the year, I got a call, and they're doing a Taiwan pay-per-view. So pay-per-view in Taiwan. And they asked if I'm available. I'm like, let me check my schedule, see if I can pencil you in. Now I gotta talk to my people and figure it out. And yeah. And then yeah, obviously I said yes, and then I got booked for that. And then I remember like I was training hard and like I was mentally preparing myself for everything. And it was only 2 shows. It was a stupid payday. It was great for 2 shows. And then the first night I had I was wrestling Kaz Hayashi. He was the champion, lightweight champion, junior champion, and I was wrestling him. It was a title shot. So I knew it was a high-profile match. So I was, you know, I knew what it was. But then I get there and like, you know, Muda's on the show, the great Muda, Chono, Minoru Suzuki. You know what I mean? Like big name legends in Japan, and I was the main event. didn't know I was going to be the main event. And the main event means more over there than it does here, I'd say. And like, I remember just like that freaking me out a little bit. I was like, well, I'm the main event. Yeah, you big star. There's a funny guy, yeah, there was a funny guy in Japan that was just like, he could speak good English too, and he'd always crack the funniest jokes, man. Yeah, I think he's literally the Japanese version of Jeffrey Scott. For real, 100%. Like, I remember one time we're at a convenience store, and we're in a town where like there's not much to do, and he comes next to me, I'm looking at the magazines or whatever, and I'm like, this place, shit town, man. He goes, yeah, Windsor, same. That popped me. Yeah, that's he's like, yeah, Windsor, same. And he walked away like he's the king, and I'm just like, amazing. But yeah, so then I had the main event title match with Kaz the first night. Killed it. Yeah, it was really good. Again, I felt like shortly after 2012 is when I really personally like knew, no doubt in my mind, that I am the best I can be right now, and I'm ready. You know what I mean? To be on TV, and I'm ready to carry that kind of pressure, handle it. You know what I mean? Like 2010 when I did that match, like I was confident. At the time, I would have told you different, but like I didn't feel it, man.
We'll take another break and then we'll come back right there.
Gotta feel it.
You felt like you were ready. We'll be right back.
Hey baby, let me tell you something. My name is Rich Swan, and let me tell you what all the cool kids are doing. They're tuning in to Idol Threat Wrestling Podcast, and I think everybody should give it a listen.
Alright, so we're back here with Phil Atlas. You did a big pay-per-view in Taiwan.
Yes, and like I said, I was the main event. After Great Muda and Shono, I was just, I was good, but like I was saying, like I was good. I proved to everybody like I could do it. You know what I mean? I was impressive, I guess. I mean, but at the time, like I look back on it, it's just like I wasn't at the level I'm at now. When I come where did I say that I started getting that? But shortly after 2012 is where I was just like, I finally get this stuff, because it takes years to really master it. And I'm not saying I'm a master of it, but I personally just understand every aspect of it for the most part. Whether like my strengths and my weaknesses doesn't matter, but like I get it. You know what I mean? And I can feel it out there. I go pretty much on feel. I don't know. It's a whole nother. You're like when you know yourself, right? Personally, you're just like, okay, I got it. I finally get everything. It all works and it all comes to place like a puzzle piece. Yeah, it was about that time. But I remember, like, yeah, we did that. Anyway, it was good. It went over. And then 2011, they didn't bring me back. Oh, no. Oh, this is a story for you. I got booked 2011 for the next Taiwan pay-per-view. It was like a year later. And I flew from wherever to Los Angeles. And I tried to get on the flight or check in for the flight to Taiwan. And then they said, I'm not allowed in the country. You ready? It's not a really cool story anyway. So what had happened was my passport was under 6 months of expiry date. And in the country, if you're past the 6 month point, they just don't let you in. And no one told me that, you know what I mean? I just got the flight information and I went. They wouldn't let me on. So I can call the promoter, you know what I mean? I can finally get a hold of someone, like they're not letting me on the plane. I'm like, they're like, why no passport? I'm like, I have passport, but it expires in 6 months. And I was just gonna renew it closer to 6 months from now. So, like, I don't know. It sucked. And I didn't know how I was gonna get back home, because my flight, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have been able to book that, I would have to pay for it. It wasn't that much money, I remember. But thankfully, Joe Doring, he had air miles saved up from all the times he went. Because at that point, he was going like a lot more than me. Like I was getting like one time a year excursions, like 3-4 months at a time, other than excluding the Taiwan ones. But Joe was going, like he was there, like he would go out for a tour, go back for the next tour, and he would just constantly. He was there for like every show for like 2-3 years at that point. So he was on another level. They really wanted to. I mean, he's huge, you know what I mean? He could go with the main eventers and actually look like he could beat their ass. He got over really well with everybody. So he was there all the time. So he had a lot more air miles booked up, gathered up more than me, right? So then he offered to fly me home. You know, I don't know how I would have got home if it wasn't for him. I mean, I would have called family and just begged for them. I'm like, I'm stuck here. And it sucked. I'm sure I got heat for it somehow, you know what I mean? He missed his flight, I'm sure they said, hey, well, you know, people just don't. So, I mean, it didn't help me, but it wasn't my fault, man. It wasn't my fault. I had a passport. I had 6 months before expiry date. How am I supposed to know? Would you have known?
No, I wouldn't have known that. Why would you?
Yeah, Jordan.
It wasn't expired.
No one said, no one mentioned it. No one gave me like a rundown. This is what you need to get in the country. Yeah, it's just mishap. It sucked. Sucked. I was counting that money too. Want to hear something nuts too? The first time we went, we get out, we walk through the terminal, we just land, like we get on the tile of the path where everyone walks. I'm not gonna tell this story. Anyway, I found like an envelope of money. Just found it. It was good.
That's it.
I don't know the details. Someone's probably still looking for it and ready to. Damn it! This is it. I found them. Anyway, whatever. Let me see. I'm digressing.
That's alright.
I like to digress.
So where were we at? So after the Taiwan, what were you doing at this point in your career?
Well, we're going to 2012. So again, I'm just doing a lot of indies. I'm trying to get my name out there. That was when we started doing. That was when we all kind of teamed up and started doing. Because BCW went on a hiatus at that point. There was like 2 years where there was no shows. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then that's when like a lot of passionate people that were around Can-Am and Border City Wrestling the whole time. A lot of the people that help out, and people like the little family they got there, kind of came together. You know what I mean? And I jumped on board, and then they started promoting shows for Can-Am. Remember Can-Am Rising?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I remember that.
And that's how we started bringing back wrestling in Windsor. And it would be like BCW presents Can-Am Rising. You know what I mean? It'd be a little BCW logo, so we're affiliated with it, but it's not BCW. So we started doing shows like that, and like we were drawing like a lot. Because I was right on, like I was geared up to be the next champion, I guess. And I remember I never really thought I'd be champion. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'll be right back. I'm a champion. I don't know why. But Tyson Dukes. You talked to Tyson Dukes?
Yes, I've talked to Tyson.
Great
I
dude.
sent him some pictures.
Great dude. He was a firm believer in me at the time. He was a champion at the time. So like we literally we did like 3 shows where like we were feuding and wrestling each other, and then finally we had one at the Serbian Center. And this was like 2 months before that cage match.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
And then this is like we're gaining momentum. We were like doing shows with Can-Am Rising, and that was by far our biggest one. I mean, there was so in that kind of environment, you know what I mean? Smaller venue, like we packed that place. You know what I mean? Like I did my hardest. Like I promoted so hard, and then that was the one where I was going to be handed the torch. So I put it over even more. You know what I mean? I sold I remember me and Tyson at that. Said I'm gonna sell 100 tickets this show. And he said, I said 50 tickets. And he said, you sell 100. I always thought that was when Nintendo Wii U came out. And I wanted one so bad because Abe had one. He was bragging about it. Abe, anyway. Tyson goes, if you sell 100 tickets, I will buy you a Nintendo Wii U. And I said, you're on. And I sold like over 100. Like I went over it. And I was like, boom. Day of the show. Nintendo Wii U. Right on the bench with my name on it. Literally.
Nice.
Tyson's Dukes, man. Anyway, yeah, then we had a killer match, so I was already pumped up. So like, yeah, I got a Nintendo, I got a Wii U. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was all pumped up. I got us in like a couple like tribunes at the Comsey Tribune and all that. And I just got a lot of like momentum going. We were building momentum, the whole team was. And that show like went perfect. And me and Tyson were in there for like 15 minutes. It was hotter than hell. It was like the middle of August in Windsor. It gets hot, man. Like it's like a humid, shitty, wet. It's just gross. But yeah, I remember a few times. Remember I mentioned at the dojo, I started getting dizzy. You know what I mean? That match, I honestly looked up the lights and I was like, I could die. And that was when me and Tyson, Tyson was like, he was fired up. You know what I mean? He was like, I think I'm not gonna say I was prime because he's awesome right now. But he was on another level then. He just wanted to go. And it was just like, killed each other. Awesome. Then yeah, I dropped him with that tombstone. Boom! Pin. Crowd went nuts. I remember when I walked out, so we're in 2012 right for the cage match. The infamous cage match. I remember walking about, the first guy I saw behind the curtain was Scott. Mr. Demore himself, El Jefe. And then he said, El Jefe, that means boss. He says to me, he goes, I think that was the best Florida City Wrestling BCW heavyweight title match in history. Thank you. He gave me a big hug, man, and that was a moment. And yeah, I just remember we went to an after party after. It was fun. Yeah, it was on another level now. You know what I mean? I was the one representing the company basically, because that's usually the champion, somewhat in some fashion, is your representative for the company, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and like that. That's, I think, since I was developing a skill of like promoting. You know what I mean? Going out there and like going to businesses, you know, make myself look presentable, and with like, we had sponsorship packages, and I would actively try to make money for the company. You know what I mean? Try to get supporters and whatever else we can do. I would always sell a lot of tickets, and that's probably definitely a couple factors on why I got, you know, the rub and the torch. Here you go. That's definitely a factor. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was highly motivated at the time to like just show them how much money I was like, a game to me. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? I'd flyer everywhere, you know. You know, my whole thought of it was like, okay, we put all these flyers up, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you can go out to outer towns, like Bell River, or if like you're going anywhere you're at, you always have them in your pocket. And I would like, just anywhere. If I was downtown, I'd have like those little ones in my cargo pocket, and I'll just kind of drop them on the tables. You know, anything, I'd put them in cars when I'm walking down the street. I'd go for runs and stop at like, you know, soccer fields where like, you know, the kids are playing soccer and just hit the parking lot, just, you know what I mean?
On the IDO podcast, we put some in between wrestling toys at the Toys R Us because we thought that was a great idea. You go to buy a wrestling toy. Oh, there's wrestling in Windsor.
Yeah, I used to put them up in payphones. That's what used to be payphones. I just, you know what I mean? Light posts. I put them everywhere. Like, so everyone knew there was wrestling if they didn't know. And then I would say like, okay, well, all the people that seen this flyer might not go to this show, but for our next show when they see a flyer, they'll stop a minute and be like, I know that guy from somewhere, or I recognize this. It's recognition. By the fourth or fifth time they're on the road, then they might, oh, I'm gonna check this shit out. I know my nephew likes wrestling. You know, if something happens, then we got new eyes on us, man. I was always about, let's get the people that don't know. Okay, we already locked in the fans here that love it, and we'll keep giving them a good product. But like, all right, let's kind of, how can we get other people that might not have ever checked it out and find it just like, okay, well, this is awesome. You know, that's what I was always trying to gear towards. Or like, you know, a girlfriend gets dragged out to wrestling with like a guy and a bunch of his buddies. She's just like, you know what I mean? By the end of it, hopefully she's like into it. Like, I didn't know this shit's so sweet. You know, that's what I was trying to entertain after a while. You know, it's a different way to look at it. But I'm digressing. I won the championship, right? We did that, and then in October, so it was August, and we had a few months in October was the big infamous cage match that people still talk about in this area, at least, like a lot. Like I was hearing that forever, and like I go to the bar the next, like for like months this happened. I go to the bar and someone would buy me a shot because of the match. They bring up the match, buy me a shot. And I'm like, whoa, you know, that was good. Again, the stage was set though. Like it was there for me to make that and then create those moments with Tyson. You know what I mean? It's all, it's give and take. No one put that stage up and like, you know, give me the reins to build it up as much as I can and build it up themselves. Those moments it's a lot of effort to build, to make those. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen all the time. At least I don't know. It takes a lot of work. But we did that. We did St. Clair College, and we filmed. Remember we filmed it? And that aired on Cogeco, and then it's on an app now you can watch. It's on my DVD as well, so if you see me in a merch table, go ahead and I should have it. I try to keep up on my merch, and sometimes it's just fly off the shelves, man. Fly off the shelves.
That's good, that's what you need then.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So here we are, we're going to the cage match. And I sold a stupid amount of tickets, and I got a lot of sponsorships. So like I brought in a lot of money for that one, and I was super excited for this one because there was going to be a cage match. You know what I mean? And Kevin Nash was on the show. I think it was supposed to be Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Scott Hall couldn't make it at the time. So we just got Kevin Nash. I believe
Carlito was on that show.
Carlito, yes, that's what it was. I spit in the face of people that don't want to be cool. Yeah, anyway, I'm digressing. Yeah, so we did that. I remember I promoted very hard. Very hard. Like I was like, everyone knew about this show, okay? And then I got us, I remember I landed, I forget how I got, just, networking. I got a hold of someone who like writes the articles for like, in the Windsor Star, on the entertainment thing. Entertainment section. And I remember landing a meeting with her at Tim Hortons on Walker Road. And I went, you know what I mean, I bought 2 tickets to give to her, you know what I mean? And then I did an interview with her. And then she, I knew it was going to be in the paper, the Friday, the show was Saturday, it was Friday, the day before. I knew it was going to be in the paper, but literally the next day, like my phone was blowing up, they put me right on the front page. Boom! You know what I mean? Me with the belt, and they built it up in this, and there was like a huge section in sports. You know what I mean? Local sports or something like that. And it was huge. That's what put us over the edge. Because we actually had to turn people away for that show. And there was like everyone standing on the wall.
I was standing.
It was stupid. Like we killed it. We killed it. And I remember like Kevin Nash was on before us, and then there was like a 15-minute break, so they put up the gauge, 10, 15 minutes. I remember being very worried that like people are gonna leave. They've already seen the Star, you know what I mean? We're gonna gotta wait again, a second intermission. I was like, I don't know if that's, I don't know. And they're like, you're fine, come on. No, it was packed. I don't know, maybe something left, but I didn't care. At that point, you don't matter. Good, go. There's the door. There was enough people in there, it was awesome, man. And that was my first cage match. Like stepping in that thing was very surreal. Very surreal. We're just being in the cage with the lights and everything, and the crowd up there. It's just like, oh man.
Yeah, it was a cool thing to see in St. Clair. I remember, like, I hadn't seen a cage match in a long time. Be up that close, I don't think I've ever been up that close to one as I was, because there's not a bad seat in there, right? So,
dude,
I was standing, so I was pretty close. And I got that picture where I started my photography career.
John Bolin. Right before I went out, well, not right before, but at some point before my match, he walks up to me and goes, "This is your WrestleMania, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then, Tyson. So I get there the other day, we're just doing the shit, I get in the cage, I see it, you know what I mean? And then like, I'm just kind of going over ideas, you know what I mean? Feeling how sturdy it is, because they put it up for us. Just know what we're working with. And then Tyson's like, I think we should do a suplex off the top of the cage. And I was like, no. He's like, we could do it. I'm like, all right, want to see if we can even both get up there and stay there for 5 seconds without falling over? And we go up there, and if you notice when you watch that match, there's no like platforms or anything. It's literally just, and then they didn't even bend the top part of it up where the cable goes, or you know what I'm saying? They didn't even bend it for us, so it's flat. Like they were still out.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why. That's something I would totally thought of before. I would have been like, whoa, wait, I would have, someone bend this shit. You know what I mean? Back then I was wherewithal. When you get older too, you think more. You don't want to get hurt because it hurts more. Everything hurts. It hurts, man. Anyway. So yeah, then I remember going up there. I just remember people's faces like looking up at us. The ring crew and like whoever else, other wrestlers, just looking at us and it was like, oh my god. He's like, okay, and I put my arm over it like this, I'm like falling over. And I'm like, obviously we were gonna just go run right there. I'm not taking that fall twice. Obviously we just want to see if we actually get up there. And he's like, I can get up there, man. He's like, he just went like that with his legs still down. He still had to like throw it up on top. And I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, man, we'll do it. I got you. I'm like, dude, if something goes wrong, I'm going outside of the cage, which is like, then I'm falling, I got the apron over and I'm laying on concrete and maybe a thin mat if I hit the mat. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna fall in the ring. And then the whole match is fucked. What are we gonna do? Open the cage and let me in?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that's gonna be bad. Yeah. Like, there's no coming back if we miss it. He's like, we'll get it. I'm like, this guy. He wanted me to do a tombstone like off the top rope. I'm like, no. He's like, come on, man. He had a death wish. I remember I was like, dude.
It was a very memorable match.
I remember going like, dude, I can't do that off the top rope, man. If I give, I'm like, I can't have that on my conscience, man. We want to go home after and have a good time, be proud of this. What if I cripple you? That's not happening. I really, bad anxiety was like anything being upside down. Anytime like I'm with anyone and they want to turn me upside down in the tombstone, After you hurt your neck, you're done, man. Scares from me. Digress. Once again, I'm just giving you all my fears. My deepest fears.
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
I had like the same like.
This is El Reverso, and you're watching the Idle Threat podcast. And if you're not, I reverse that.
All right, we're back with Phil Atlas. You had the big cage match at St. Clair.
Yes.
And after that, Border City really started doing shows regularly again. That was like really the birth of Border City Wrestling.
Yeah, I believe the schedule started with like we would do like 1 or 2 like little hall shows a year, and then the big one in October, November area. You know what I mean? We did that for a few years, that kind of formula, and yeah, it was huge. The next one, the year after that, I believe it was Scott Hall. We brought Scott Hall in. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember this with Scott Hall and his son.
Jake the Snake Roberts was there too.
Yeah.
And that was a huge show. It was great. Man,
Rikishi, I think, was there too.
He was.
Yeah. Just hit me.
Wow, it's an expensive show. Anyway, the main event was awesome. Like the build up for it and like the promos we cut before, and like they showed like old clips of me in the crowd, you know, sitting in front row watching. I was like, where the hell did they get that? Like it was great, man. It was perfect. I believe the editor at the time was Derek Schluter. You know Derek?
No, I'm not.
Yeah. I don't know why I stopped doing it. Probably because it takes a long time and he wasn't getting pretty stuff. But anyway, that's besides the point. He did a really good job. And the seed was there. I mean, Scott cut a good promo, and we all of a sudden made it like a feud. Because we had a match with Bull, and I defended. Where are we here in the timeline? My title defense after that cage match, the first one was Congo Kong at Kubota. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that one.
The highlight video online on YouTube, you can find it.
Definitely, I was
Dope song,
for
good.
sure.
Yeah, and then that was the first title defense because they asked me, they actually gave me kind of the book. They're like, who do you want to work? Who do you want to defend each other with? And I'm like, someone big. You're a big guy. You know? And he was like, who you got in mind? And I'm like, Abyss. He's like, we're not getting Abyss. I'm like, you sure? He's like, we're not getting Abyss. I'm like, all right. And then around that time too, I started working for JCW. Like they were doing a lot of like they had a CD release party, JCW Juggalo Championship Wrestling in St. Cloud Posse. We're in Windsor, Detroit's just across the pond, so I got hooked up with that a couple times, and I did some CD release parties and other things, and I saw Kong. That's where I saw Kong. I didn't really talk to him, but I saw him. And I was like, how about Congo Kong? You know what I mean? And they all looked him up and they're like, okay. I didn't even know the guy. I watched him work before, and I'm like, yeah, this will give me sympathy. You know what I mean? Watching me get my ass beat by this giant monster. You know?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, we brought him in, and it was awesome. You know, it was great. That was the first time we met, and we had a killer match. We worked really well together, and we've been cool ever since, man. Like, I travel with him now. You know, like, we got, you know, certain circuits where we got to drive to like the same place. You know, pass it through. And, yeah, I mean, yeah.
And he's been a Border City regular ever since.
There, so you might wanna. I don't know. I definitely. I believe he would have been in BCW or wrestling in Canada in general at some point. But I mean, I called him up right away. I was like, oh, Kong. You know what I mean? I can create a goddamn masterpiece with that man. You bring him in, you know? And we did it. It was great. And then that's where I defended the title, right? And then that's when I believe Tyson and Bolin were like a little stable or whatever, and they came running in. I do hate John Bolin, by the way. That's not a work. I don't like him. Anyway, so I'm digressed. Fuck you, Bolin. So, okay, we're having fun. So, yeah, they came running up. They jumped me, and then out came Scott. Scott came running up and saved me. Cut a big promo, and he said like, "Oh, I'm gonna team up with Phil, blah blah blah," and then shook my hand and pulled me in. He gave me the demoralizer. Bang! And he turned on me to reform the syndicate. You believe that shit?
I remember that stuff happening.
That's real. I was pissed. He whipped me with a belt a couple times. I rolled out of the ring. He goes, "Fucking belt!" They were beating the piss out of me, man. I remember spearing at Tyson. He kicked me in the back. I'm like, "Hey!" I yelled at him like a father would as a little kid doing something wrong. I was like, "Hey!" And he got a smirk and went, "Sorry." But yeah, we were working stud. But yeah, that was the storyline. So then we went into that show the next year. Is that the 25th anniversary? No, we did.
No,
Yeah. Time paradox there, man. I'm sorry. Glitch in the matrix. But yeah, so then it was Cody Hall, Cody Diener, and me with Scott Hall in our corner. How sweet is that?
That was pretty
You know, and
too
then,
sweet.
and then it was Scott DeMore, you know what I mean, who doesn't wrestle all the time, he's retired, you know, and Tyson Dukes, John Bull, and Moose, debuting Moose in their corner. And it was great, man. It was the dynamic between all of us, and just like the people, like we told a good story about like our beef, you know what I mean? They aired the vignette before the match, so like anyone there who didn't know what was going on kind of had a background to it, you know what I mean? Helps.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it was great. Well, it was actually an honor. So I made Diener made his entrance, you know, his music played, and then my music played, I do my shtick, and me and Diener like look at each other in the middle of the stage, and we walked up to the sides, and we fucking go like this at the same time in unison, and then his music plays. That's sick. No, Cody came up, and he came like to the middle of the stage, and all three of us did it. And the man came out. Yeah? Looking good as ever. Never mind the video you saw.
He looked really good.
Oh, it looked great.
That
was his birthday too, eh?
Yeah, I remember that. At Stars after him coming in.
You were there?
I wasn't at the party, but I was in the bar.
At Stars, after the cage match, hold on, a little stick. After the cage match, I was getting drunk, right? Celebrating. After that match, I went to Stars and had a couple beers. Stars is a sports bar that we all go to after the show. You know where Tyson Dukes went? Hospital room. Gotta get stitched up. So I won the fight, and I won the battle.
Yeah, did there.
These, not those. Anyway, so yeah, anyway, I'm at the bar. You know what I mean? Having a good time, having bands on my head. And then, like, I was getting wasted, you know what I mean? I don't remember what was going on. But all of a sudden, like, the blood just started pouring down my head, and I had no idea. I literally, like, looked over this way, and this chick goes, you're bleeding. And I'm like that. I'm like thinking, like, it'll be a little bit. It was like a shit ton. It was cool. I remember my buddy was racing too. He's like, "You're the coolest person in the world," just like, you know, milking it up. Anyway, yeah, that story. It was funny. I thought it was funny. Fuck you did.
Yeah, that's a good story. So when does your run with the bout come to an end? Exactly, the title belts in Border City Wrestling.
I held it for almost 2 years. So you're on 13, 14, when I went 12, 13, 14, anywhere between like the late 14 to year 2015, I'd say. And it was against John Bull. And that was the night. That was the night Brad freaking Martin, my best friend in the whole business, turned up. That was when a brouhaha broke out. You know what I mean? Scott got involved. You know, pulled the ref out of the ring, so I grabbed him by his ears, pulled him up. One fell swoop, he was just like, Scott was in the ring, and I was about to smash him, right? Believe me, it's coming. I wanted to smash him. I had him, you know what I mean? He's cowering like a little bitch. And then out comes Kong, you know, and I did Scott, turn around, Kong dropped me with a choke slam, you know, and then all these people came around, a big schmaz, if you will, a brouhaha, you know?
Yep, I know what
You're familiar with that term?
Yeah.
So, brawl breaks out, right? And then Brad Martin comes out. So it ended with Tyson Dukes and Bull and Scott just beating on me, laying the boots. And then Brad Martin comes up to save the day. Brad hurt himself. He was on crutches. Hurt himself. So he picks me up, you know what I mean? We're looking at them. And then I take a step to go get them. We're like looking at each other like, all right. I take a step. Brad turns around. He's doing T-bone. To the shock of the crowd. The crowd goes nuts. Did you see that reaction? No one saw it coming. Everyone saw it coming. They were excited. They were just like, well, let's do it. Let's do it. And then Brad joined the syndicate. So I got, some bone chips, folks. It's wrestling. It's wrestling business. I'll tell you that much. Alright. Yeah. So yeah, Brad turned on me and I lost the title. They threw the ref in the ring. 1, 2, 3, because I took 4 bowling spears. I took 4 of them bitches. And look at 4 of them bitches as in the spears and 4 of them bitches as in the syndicate. Right?
Thank you, yeah.
That's like getting 2 birds stoned at once there. Continue, my friend.
So after you lost the title, what were you? You still wrestling for Border City? Were you feuded with the Syndicate after that, right?
Mm-hmm. For a while. I believe the match after that was with Bret Martin. And, like, we're not going over like all the little details. Of course, I've wrestled other places. You know what I mean? But we're just basically talking Windsor right now, right? We're kind of going off of that. Yeah, we're just talking. We're shooting the shit. There's no rhyme or reason. But like the next Border City show was at the U, and I had my grudge match with Brad Martin. That was a good one. Fucked him up. Like, he got what was coming to him. You know, he might be wholesome and look like a family man and like a really, but don't believe everything you see. Kidding. Brad Martin's a good guy. He's a good guy. Brad freaking Martin is a freaking good guy.
He was at the last Border City show.
I saw that.
The Essex Fun Fest.
I saw that. He looked good.
Yeah.
I bet you he looked amazing in the ring too.
Yeah, it was a really good match.
Brad, I remember the not this time he recently came back because obviously I wasn't there, but the time before that, I remember like he showed up at the school and I'm just sitting there and I'm watching him just in there with like the students and I'm like, shit, this guy hasn't skipped a beat. Simply Better Brad Martin. I wanted him to monitor that. I wanted him to like, you know, before it all, Simply Better. And I was tight, Simply Better. And he'd come up to like Frank Sinatra, like a sounding song talking about, I'm simply better. He'd come out with all fucking cocky. Isn't that gold?
That's really good.
I bet you would have made like $7 million right now if you did that. Fucking stupid, bro.
So, Border City, a little bit after that, starts working the Impact. Impact comes in to working with interpromotional. Or actually, before that though, they had the New Japan show that you were part of.
Yeah.
Right? Let's talk about that before we get to that.
That was probably 2015.
So yeah, 2014 I think was the year on that.
Yeah, because I was the champion.
You
I defended my title.
against. Oh, so that was before you lost the belt.
Yes.
It was against
Carl Anderson.
You fought Carl Anderson that
Yeah,
day?
that's right.
Yeah.
I beat him.
That's right.
Barely. That injured my life.
Right. That was.
I broke my ankle that match.
That was a huge show though for like I think a lot of the fans that were there didn't even appreciate what they were getting. That
No,
it
they didn't.
It was still
Like a lot did, but
a lot did. It was like a half and half crowd because there's a lot of families that just go to Border City too for something to do. They don't follow like the internet marks, but that was
since the last time I've been there. I remember I had like 3 families that used to bring like, at least 10 people. They're all like, they don't want tickets anymore. They don't go. I'm like, you don't have to do that. And they're like, no, my kids don't care anymore.
so
I had kids crying when I turned heel, by the way. We're not there yet.
yeah, we're about to get to that. But yeah, it was New Japan promoted with Border City show. Like that was
Yeah,
truly
it
amazing
basically
for-
P7 years New Japan.
Yeah,
Awesome,
it was,
man. It was,
and Booker T was there too.
yes.
It was that was a huge show. Like the shows at this point just I felt kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right?
Yeah. That's what I mean. We were like, it was constant momentum. We never felt like, this one sucked. Next time, let's get them next time. Like it was just like, boom, boom, boom. I believe we when we had that hiatus too. I believe like Scott saw the passion that we were all exuding and putting into this, and like it was actually we're filling up venues. You know what I mean? I believe we I would think like kind of just lit a fire on them and say like, yeah, I want to start promoting shows more. Just get more active and like get more active. You know what I mean? But like, but like it was like I think that's what. I don't think if it was like we had to do something because we were having students come in and we can't really get them booked anywhere else. I don't know. It's just we need to, man. We had to keep wrestling alive in Windsor. I mean, it's part of a lot of people's lives. And it's definitely in the city.
That's true, like for sure. Like as soon as I found out there was wrestling in Windsor, like I didn't know, and then it was like something to watch, and it was a equal product. So like not on the same stage as WWE, but you're getting as good matches anywhere in the world. Really, you always people from all over, even when it first started. Like guys like Al Snow.
Yeah.
Lance Storm.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lance Storm too.
Right, so like it's always been. And then your big names, King Kong.
I can't believe your second one was Lance Storm. I was just saying.
I was trying to think of one of those old flyers, and I saw Al Snow and Lance Storm.
We might be telepathically linked, like E.T. and Elliot.
Yeah, me.
There you go.
Yeah. So, like, how was it wrestling that show though? Like with New Japan, like you were obviously used to the customs of the Japan match.
It was supposed to be. They didn't know what to do. They were going to do Tyson and Carl Anderson, or me and Nakamura. Or the other way around, right? And like I remember that Scott was like, Alex not wrestling Nakamura. And I was like, why? He goes, he'll kick your fucking ass. I'm like, I can do it. What are you talking like? You know what I mean? I was like, I don't care. I'll put me in there anyway. You know what I mean? He's like, oh man, I'll work with it. I don't care. He's not gonna kill me. He probably could, 100%, but he's not gonna. You know. Anyway, they ended up going with Carl Anderson, and I defended my title. But I remember like they were very serious about who's winning, and they were like, they agreed. Like I remember the big thing where they didn't want me. If I work Nakamura, like I have to go over. Like they were like, no, he don't go over. No, fuck you. He don't go over.
Yeah.
But like with Carl Anderson, like okay, yeah, he go over. But they're still like, nah. And then like when they got there that day, they're like, we don't think over. We think maybe something else. And this guy was like, no man, I had agreement. You know, he's our champion. You know what I mean? We can't. What are we gonna do? Like maybe DQ or something. We're like, no, agreement over. This guy fought for it, and like I remember like we didn't know till like maybe like an hour before who was finally going over. Like they refused it. They didn't want to. And then they were like, what do you go over with? And I was like, I showed them my move. They're like, no. I'm like, how about this? Like, no. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, roll up. I'm like, how? I showed them like I gave my ideas. I'm like, okay, this one, okay. And I'm like, all right. And you could tell like the whole time through, they're like literally like thinking like, I don't know if this is the right decision. What are we doing? And then it was like bad. I don't know, bad.
How did that show even come about? Like, how did Scott arrange or that like arrangement? How did that happen?
I think New Japan was like coming to like.
They were coming to Toronto. They had a show with Ring of Honor. That's
yeah,
what it was.
exactly. That's
They were
why.
on,
That's
so-
why. And then they tried to obviously when they're down here,
Just
you know what I
make
mean?
a
They have
tour
a
of
roster
it.
here. Let's see
Yeah.
what other big companies within our traveling distance will help us and we can piggyback off of and
it just worked out.
Promote, you know?
It just worked out like that, eh? It's one
Yeah.
of those things.
Yeah. But then I broke my ankle in that match. It was at the very beginning, man. I was like, we went in, boom, boom, whatever we did. I hit my tope through the ropes, and I landed on my feet like I did. I just felt snap. I just kind of walked it off. I walked, and I started limping like this. And like at this point, I'm like, okay, I fucked myself up. You know what I mean? But I'm doing a little limping, like a pace. Like I'm just thinking, like, oh God, what do I do? And I'm like limping, and I got all that adrenaline. So it's like, I'm walking, but I shouldn't be fucking walking. But like I'm limping and walking through it. I remember looking at the ring table, the ring pile, looking at the people there, and I'm like, I fucked myself up. And they're just like, like they knew, and not like me. I turned around, I'm walking towards the door. I just had to throw him back in the ring, right? Do whatever I was gonna do. And I was just like, oh my God. And I picked him up. I'm like, I broke my ankle. Go over there, just to let him know. And I mean, I remember I think I had to climb to the top rope and do a crossbody, and I did it. You know what I mean? And I was getting up. You watched the rest of that match. Like he caught my foot at one point. You know what I mean? I remember we kind of had a conversation while we were doing it. Like, he's like, I called the backflip. He's like, your foot. I'm like, backflip. You know what I mean? Because he knew I was hurt, and so he caught my foot, and we did the backflip thing, right? Landed on my feet. You know what I mean? Near the end, though, I was supposed to run in the corners like this, and like I would avoid them, and then I would kind of like roll and like fall in, buckle, and I'd kick them and get over them again, and I couldn't hit charge, right? So I'm rolling and falling with a buckle, but I got through it. Yeah, and then everyone just told me it was straight, you're fine. You know what I mean? And I literally woke up the next morning, it was like triple the size, and I couldn't even like heave my body over out of the bed because like any time movement I made, it was like, ah, excruciating pain. And I found out I broke it. I remember telling everybody, like, you broke it? You were at the bar all night. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That was gonna be my next question. If you went out after, where you?
I went out after.
Yeah.
I went out after. I mean, I was visibly limping and something happened, but I wasn't showing it other than my limping. Like I was just walking. I'm like, I tried broke it, busted. Out a few months.
So for so long though, you were the face of Border City. So we'll talk about when you switched heel. How was that for you? Switch heel like that.
The office, if you will, they came up to me and they actually gave me a choice. So what do you want to do tonight? What sense? And they're like, do you want to go heel or stay babyface? I'm like, oh, ooh, this is something else. And I'm like thinking, I don't know, because then I got to think. I'm like, I'm from here, you know what I mean? I know everybody. I sell a lot of tickets. I'm like, if they're willing to do it, because I might not be able to sell as much. if I'm being a dick out there. Because that's my job. I'm gonna make people like 50% of those people literally hate me and want to punch me in the face. I'm gonna do it for real, legit. You know what I mean? And like some people just like, I don't know. Obviously, I don't mean half the stuff I'm doing, or like I super care because I wasn't doing any of that when I was a baby. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's a whole other side of the spectrum, and I give her, just give her. Cody Deaner, you a fan of Cody Deaner?
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah, you would be.
Yeah,
you would be. Anyway, so I remember I said to Scott, I said, you mind if I walk around for 15 minutes or so and just think about it? Yeah, bud. So I walked around, did it, and I'm thinking, okay, my merch sales are definitely going to go in the shitter. No one's going to want to buy my shit. You know what I mean? 'Cause I don't even want to come out. I don't even go out sometimes if I'm a heel because I just don't, I think that takes away from it. But sometimes if I'm on the road, like doing a tour, like yeah, I'm going out every time. I'm honestly. But yeah, so I thought about it. I started pros and cons, and basically for me it was creative. The creative door it opens for me. It's just like I've been doing the same shit over here, and like other guys are coming up. Like Aiden Prince, in particular, he was coming up, and he was getting over as a baby face. And Scott and everybody at the office was seeing that, and they're giving him more high-profile matches to give him that atmosphere to get over, right? And he was doing it. And so now you got like two baby faces and not enough heels, and it's just like, you know what I mean? For I was already like years on top as a baby face, so like I could even feel it from the crowd. They were kind of just like, it's not that exciting. They're just like losing their shit. You know what I mean? You've been there sometimes, like when that all was going, how organically happening. Yeah. Like you can go back and watch those tapes. People are jumping off their seats, like
for sure.
Yeah, and like yeah, they like me, but they're just like, yeah. You know what I mean? And like so I had to do something, and I was like, I want to give them something different. So then it opens a whole new creative door, and I said, yeah, let's do it. It goes on it, and I literally was just thinking about it so much. I'm going in there. We wrestled OVE. We had the Impact Tag Team title match. Me and Brent Banks. We were the BCW Tag Team champions, and we were going against their champions, and our titles were on the line. Theirs were. So it was like we had the advantage. It's time to go. So yeah, Brent ended up. There was a miscommunication. You know what I mean? And Brent was doing stuff that I was like, I don't have I feel like I don't really have that bad of a temperament when it comes to working with people. Brent was pissing me off. He was pissing me off. So, yeah, I mean, and then he really screwed up. He really screwed us up, and we didn't win those titles. And I looked at that as our in to Impact. You know what I mean? We got an opportunity if we win the belts. I mean that means we get a job, I would assume. So yeah, Brent screwed it up, and how he screwed it up, I don't know. He ended up smashing me in the face with something, and I wasn't there to save the day like I usually do for the team, and yeah. He cost us the titles. I got mad. I tried to keep my cool. But he whispered one thing before he left, and I was like, that's it. Backcracker. Or a long blower from the back. What do you call that? Long blower.
Sure, it's your move.
I ain't my move. I just did it.
Yeah, I'm just saying you did call what you want.
Del Rio does it. I don't know if you're not familiar. That's it. Whoop, bang! Crowd, yeah, you suck. And I just walked to the back. And by the next show, nuts. Some people's only like 2 kids were crying. They had my shirt on. What now?
That's awesome.
Because Brent was getting over too.
Yeah.
You know, he was tagged with me. I was like the hometown guy. Like Brent's amazing. You watch him once, you're like, yeah, this guy rules. So like it was just Brent was getting over huge. Like to see me do that to Brad, who they love too, it was just like it just like they felt betrayed, and that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. If you look, like it was completely. By the next show, they were like no love whatsoever. All of them.
Well, we gotta take yet another break. We'll be right back.
What? You're not a wrestler! What is going on here? Chris LaPlante and Cody Deaner! All hell is breaking loose here! Go time LaPlante! Channeling his inner 20-year-old self! Taking it to Ben Hameen! Ben Hameen fighting back!
Hit him, Ben, hit him!
We got a pure 6 brawl going here! Hameen sends LaPlante down! We got Atlas and Deaner going at it, and no referees anywhere!
No! This is ridiculous that Cody Deaner has come to this! Cody Deaner's taking the match.
We need to get some kind of order in here. What is going on?
That's it, champ. Hit him in the ring post.
Oh! Reversal.
Come on, Atlas. Come on, Atlas. Atlas. Get up, Atlas.
Into that turnbuckle.
Get up, Atlas. Get up. Get up.
Oh.
What do you want, man? Don't talk to me like that. No.
Whoa.
I'm protected.
He's injured.
Come on, give me my crutch back. Give me my crutch back. Now I want it back. Give me my crutch back.
What happened here? What's going on? Oh my God! Cody Deaner's attack. Jay Moore, a defenseless Jay Moore, who's got a crutch. He's got a broken leg. And Cody Deaner taking advantage of this poor invalid Jay Moore. He's a manager, not a wrestler. What is going on here? We need to get some people out here. He's got his crutch in his hand. You can't beat the guy up with his own crutch. You can't beat him up with his own crutch. Phil, get in there and help him. Phil Atlas comes in with the save. And a step up to the knee. And Phil Atlas with the save. Oh, went for that super kick again. Cody with the kick. He's gonna go for, and a low blow. Jay Moore doing what he has to. Jay Moore defending himself like he should. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It must be Christmas. It must be Christmas. A Christmas miracle has happened. Jay Moore has been magically healed. This is amazing. And what's going to happen with this cast here? Oh! That's it. Jay Moore taking Drew Zielinski over. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still Crossfire Heavyweight Champion. They say the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he wasn't real. Well, the greatest trick that Jay Moore ever pulled was convincing these fans that he was injured. This is why he is the greatest manager of all, managing the greatest champion of all time, with the greatest stable of all. That's right, Moore's family. The man has pulled one over again on these Crossfire fans. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just say to you right now, I am absolutely impressed with what's been going down here today. What an impressive Jingle Bell Brawl 7 and a great time we've had here. Phil Atlas, still your champion. And for Go Time Chris LaPlante, for the infamous Jay Moore, I'm your host, Ryan Fleming, and thanks for joining us with another exciting edition of Crossfire Wrestling.
Alright, so we're back. So you end the relationship or tag partnership with Brent Banks, but you're still, you missed the shot at the Impact titles and everything, but you're still Border City champions, right?
Yeah, so it was, everyone didn't know what to do because I refused to work with him, and he refused to work with me, and we both had a choice. Where's the save of the situation? So we had another match. I went to another show at the university, and it was just me and Brent versus each other, and it was very physical. And the match actually got thrown out because we weren't listening to the ref anymore. We were just literally just brawling. So the locker room got peeled apart. It was actually quite the moment. And then Border City, the office decided the way we're going to settle this is you find a partner of your choice, and Brent, you find a partner of your choice. The winner of that match will be the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, right? So we did that, and this was, I can't remember the year. You were around, weren't you?
This would probably be like late 2015, maybe early 2016, around that period, maybe?
Something like that. But yeah, me and Brent, then it was me and Jake something. I picked Jake something. So like I'm gonna go with the monster. I mean, I've always been a fan of his. I think he's like the today's answer to Bruiser Brody, man. He's the man. Hopefully he doesn't suffer the same fate.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna now. Nah, he's not gonna.
Don't take bookings in Puerto Rico.
I mean, I would. I don't know. It definitely in the back of my mind. But anyway, he's amazing. So I thought, like, I'm heel. I don't want anyone my size. I want like a bodybuilder type thing where I could like do something, you know, under the table, and then like if someone tries to get me on it, and I stand behind Jake Sumner, and I'm still talking shit. Like I'm as big as Jake Sumner, but I'm a chicken shit. That's what I was trying to get at. So Shawn Michaels, Diesel,
yeah,
bam!
exactly.
Exactly what I was going for.
Yeah.
You know, and then Brent went with Aiden Prince. You know, Aiden Prince, like I said, he was already on the rise. You know, basically like me and him neck to neck as top baby face at the time. And, you know, Cody Deaner was also a big baby face. But as for local guys concerned, that's where we were. So, yeah. So then Prince got that opportunity, but I ended up winning that match with Jake Sumner, and we were the tag team champions. And then I believe shortly after that, maybe within a year, that's when we had the 25th anniversary. And after that,
yeah, not too long ago.
Yeah, what was the big deal for that?
It was conjoined with Impact.
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah.
Of course.
It was. There was a Moose Street fight. I remember that much. Maybe that was probably Johnny Impact.
Yeah, whatever you know. But yeah, we
had the big ladder match.
Yeah, they put both titles up there. I believe it was like 30 feet. I'm not sure.
Was that the first ladder match in Border City? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I remember, we were asked if we wanted to do the ladder match, and I was like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? I created that moment with the cage, you know, I got the opportunity, and I was like, hell yeah, this is another one. So, yeah, that was awesome. We did that, and unfortunately we lost the belts, but it was literally like the next generation of things to come. You know what I mean? Prince was like solidified his top spot, you know what I mean? And he's still killing it. And yeah. And I walked away through the distance here. I was gone. You know what I mean? Going over there. Anyway, yeah, it was huge. You know, it was the first ever. I remember there was a spot in the match where I did where it was across like this. Jake Sutherland had Brent pinned. I climbed over Brent and I did the tightrope block over the ladder horizontally and flipped over to the blockbuster. Prince came around there from behind something. And to this day, I've never seen a ladder match where someone did that.
Oh, I've never seen
I
that
want
either.
you to find it because you won't find it. Even Josh Matthews, even Josh Matthews says on the commentary, he's like, I've watched a lot of ladder matches and I've never seen that done. BAM!
Yeah, that match I think stole the show there that night. That was a very memorable match.
I took a lot of punishment in that one. When we got to the back and we figured out after it was all said and done, we're like, well, how did I took a lot of punishment. You know what I mean? Well, whatever, it was great. The back body into the ladder. That was a good match. Great show. And yeah, I lost the belts. Me and something broke up. It's a bad breakup too. You got half my things.
Where did your angle go after that? Really, in Border City, what did you do after you lost the belts?
Well, before that, I want to mention this too. Like when we started teaming up with Impact and doing that stuff, I was getting a lot more opportunities to be like in front of the backdrop with like the interviewer and kind of promo, and like I wasn't really known for my promos back then, and I would honestly try to avoid them like, at all costs, no matter what. You know what I mean? I was just like wasn't good at it. And I started getting a little comfortable with like actually being in the ring with the mic, where I'm like looking at the people and talking. You know what I mean? I was kind of getting through on that, but like being like behind the backdrop and like the lights on you. You know what I mean? And the cameras, and then like literally you can't see, like catering's right behind them, so like all the guys are there watching. You know what I mean? You can't see them, but you
I
know
know.
eyes on you.
At those tapings.
Yeah, you're just like it is overwhelming. And I didn't feel overwhelmed. I couldn't execute the emotion I was trying to execute, and I was like fucking up left and right. I remember finally this guy was like, cut! He's like, you lost your chance. You know what I mean? Next move on. I felt like shit, and he pulled me aside. He goes, you say you deserve a spot, you say this and that, you know what I mean? But this is part of it, you know what I mean? Look what you're doing. I felt like shit. I literally walked away like, you know? And it broke my spirit, dude. It really broke my spirit, but it woke me up. But, thankfully, I don't know if he felt bad. I don't know if he does feel bad. But he said, he gave me one more shot. And then he said, you got one more shot. And then he made me say it in front of him. He kind of coached me through it, like an active coach would. And then, I got another opportunity to do it, and I did it. I'm not going to say I nailed it, but I got it as passable. And then right before the show started, he said something happened with the camera, and they didn't get it. I laughed, I laughed. He's like, no, I'm serious. I'm like, fuck, So then we just went in like locker room area, like we were like changing or whatever, and we did it. And we got it done. But again, like, just like I said back when I did the Taiwan match, like I did it, and it was good, but I personally was like, that's not my best, I know I can do better. So that year, I literally there was like an 8-month period where I would just cut a promo for any match, you know what I mean? Big or small, I would just boom, I'd throw it on YouTube, or I'd send it to an editor and they edited it. And I was just like, this is my weakness, so this is what I need to focus on, right? So I was hungry, I wanted a job. And then, I don't know if you've seen my promos lately, but man, I feel like I'm killing it. I don't feel nervous at all. I don't get lost for words. I just talk, and I literally try to, what I try to differ from everyone else's promos, I want pure emotion. I'll play on reality a little bit, very vague stuff, just to get people guessing, thinking, oh my God, like again, when we're talking about Austin, you believe some of this shit, right? And I want people to believe.
That's the main thing I think in wrestling is make it
Yeah.
believable.
And I feel
even the words exchanged, everything.
Yeah,
It's all got to be believable, or
Yeah.
you got no feeling for it.
And
It's just
people for the most part know it's a show, you know what I mean? But when you take them out of it for a second, they're just like, oh, ooh, you get those reactions, right? Those are real, honest to God reactions, you know what I mean? They know what they're watching, but it's just like when you watch a movie. You know what I mean? You watch a movie and you don't want, it sucks when it gets ruined for you. Like say you're watching a movie in the past and some guy walks around and you see in the back of the scene, there's a Rolex, he's wearing a Rolex, or like that Game of Thrones, when there was a Starbucks cup,
Yep.
That was a big thing. Yeah, like it takes them away, you know what I mean? They know it's a show, they know it's just entertainment,
but still.
but they don't want to be reminded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then once they're watching, they're invested, and they're like, watching as for what it is, the art form, and you do something that takes away from it, it's hard to bring it back. You'll lose it. You know what I mean? And when you're like, got all those eyes on you, and you got that attention, and you got them right where you want. You know what I mean? The last thing you want to do is take them away from it. You know what I mean? You're like, you can feel it. It's different, man. It's different. So that's what I tried to do. And yeah, man, we were building up Crossfire Wrestling. I was cutting a lot of programs for them, and I picked a fight with Joe Pimentel. Joe Pimentel was like a local MMA fighter who's done a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And then we built a fight between me and him for like 8 months. And I actually showed up at one of his fights, and we filmed something. So we got all this stuff, and we're just like, people didn't know we were watching pro wrestling or a fight. You know what I mean? And we gained a lot of new fans from it too. So that's like. That's what my focus most of the time, just getting new fans, new people in the door. You know what I mean? Get them in once, doesn't mean they'll go to every show, but there's your new audience, Mm-hmm. And I remember mentioning too, we should put our Twitter handles on the post.
Yeah, I would put all that up for us.
Our Facebooks or Instagrams, you know what I mean? So that people add us, and then there you go, there's your marketing tool right there. You can hit everybody, you know what I mean? That's ever been to a show. They're 3-4 of us. They're gonna know about the show. No one's not gonna know about the show. And then the posters and stuff are all the people that don't know. You know what I mean? That's the focus.
Yeah.
I thought. But yeah.
Definitely in today, with the way the world is today, you got your best chance of really promoting anything. The show.
It's true, but I don't think you should not have flyers up, don't you?
No, flyers are great. I'm a fan of flyers.
Yeah, like you get something that catches the eye. And,
yeah.
People aren't really.
You got to make sure the flyer looks good, and the Border City flyers always looked good and they were appealing to the eye.
Aiden motherfucking Prince. He makes flyers.
Like Lopez Design.
Lopez Design. Hey Lopez.
So where's Phil Atlas been these days? Where have you been wrestling these days?
Oh jeez. Pretty much the same places, same promotions that I've always worked for throughout the years, except Border City Wrestling.
Yeah, we haven't seen you on the last the few cards they've done now, so I feel like you want to tell us anything that happened there, or?
Touchy subject, man. I mean, I'm not happy about any of it. I mean, of course, I would like to be. These guys are my family for like 16 years, you know. Longer, because I was training before that, and you just go up fantasy camp if you want to count all that. Like that's almost 20 years, man, 2 decades. And I don't know. I just think a lot would have been a lot calmer. You know what I mean? If there was more talking between both parties, but you're not gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
Just you know, water could have been thrown on the fire as opposed to gasoline, and there's a lot of people that were throwing gasoline on it. And the fact that it was never brought out right in the forefront and talked about before it got too out of hand. And honestly, God, truth, I don't even know exactly who's got beef with what or what's going on. Like, that's the thing about me, dude. There's no in between. People just go, hey, it's Phil Atlas, cool. No, they either love me or they hate me. There's no in between, man. And people are very vocal on that. Like, they will praise me and just talk me up, or you got the other people who are just like, fuck that guy, you know. And it's not like I blame these people, because I do call it upon myself. I mean, I'm a very in-your-face guy. I'm not afraid to say what I want to say. You know what I mean? I'm not just a punk kid or like just a guy who doesn't use his brain, just will say anything. But like I kind of will say anything, you know. Of course, it was like, you live your life, there's like a couple of regrets, like you're like, maybe I shouldn't have, maybe this should have happened, but that's all hearsay, right? You can't, it's hard to do things right in the moment. And I don't know, man. I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna be back, just like I told you last time. Like,
yeah.
I would never say never, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what other people feel about the situation or how deeply they feel. Me, I mean, I was devastated at first, but now I just take it with a grain of salt. I mean, if I think what could come from this is good business, if you really want to look at it that way, and if you want to look at it from a business standpoint for the fans and everything, yeah, it's good business, man. I mean, it's interesting, and different avenues we can go with it. But like, and on a personal level, right? I mean, I'd rather have that relationship with you know who, and it's just like, yeah, I'm going with it. Yeah, and I just roll with it. Yeah, that's it.
Well, where, for all the fans out there, where can they catch you? Just name some of the promotions where you can be caught.
Bordertown Pro Wrestling and Fort Erie. We got, and they have YouTube videos and stuff. You can all check this up on YouTube. You've got Crossfire. You got Super Kicked. This Saturday, I'll be at in Kitchener, Ontario for IPW, Independent Pro Wrestling. It's like some kind of bike rally 2019. It's a big, I don't know. It looks like a big party. And I'll be there. I'm wrestling for the first time ever Buck Gunderson, one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Buck Gunderson actually too.
Yes. You know who else I like? Del Bruno.
I'm not sure.
Alessandro Del Bruno, man. He's got the soccer gear on.
Oh, I haven't seen them yet. I'll check him out.
He's good. Hey, he's good. I just put him over on Facebook like a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
We wanna, before I let you get out of here, you wanna put yourself over anywhere we can find you on social media?
Oh, jeez. You don't know that?
I know it, but
you're
for
running
the people, I do. I know, but and I'll run the links underneath while you say them.
Well, we got Twitter. I don't really use it. I hate it, but I have it. It's at Phil Atlas, capital P, capital A. We got Instagram, Atlas Bushido _88. And we got, what else? We got Facebook. You know, you can search up my real name if you know it. And Phil Atlas, just go like that fan page. And then you'll be up to date with all the stuff I'm doing. You know, I'm just trying to keep my stuff open, man. I mean, stand-up comedy might be maybe I'll go stand-up
wrestlers
comedy.
do that today.
I mean, the fact that I'm even thinking of that is a joke in itself, so I mean, I'm halfway there. But yeah, to me, stand-up comedy though is like a whole nother like crazy aspect of a performer, like doing, like think about it. Those guys sometimes, you watch those specials, they're in giant stadiums, you know what I mean? And it's just a stage, open stage with a stool and a microphone and you got no other atmosphere, environment to work off of, and no one else to work off of. You know what I mean? To like provide like an hour's worth of entertainment. It's just fucking you.
Yeah, it's a tough gig.
That's anxiety times 10 to me, obviously. But I do want to give it a try. Should I do it?
Give it a try, man.
I actually thought about it.
Just give it a try.
So
a lot of guys just tell stories too.
A buddy of
funny
mine
stories,
owns a bar. He's like, I'm thinking of doing Xanath nights. And he's like, look, get you to do it. And I'm like, And I was like, why the fuck not? You know what I mean? Even if it's just one time, he moved off the stage, who cares?
Worth a shot.
Yeah, man.
Well, for the Idle Threat Wrestling Podcast, it's been Phil Atlas with us. Hope you enjoyed the stories. I'm Joey Idol as always, and we will see you next time.